Hey, hey, hey. Happy Father's Day, everybody. It is Sunday night and it's time for the Late Late Show with the Dago. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And I think we should close this weekend off the right way by hanging together. Let's have a chat, folks. Let's talk about whatever we talk about. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's get this damn show on the damn road. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Sunday night. Happy Father's Day. I hope everybody had a great weekend and a great Father's Day for all you awesome fathers out there and all of you moms and I guess moms that had to be moms and dads. Thank you guys for everything you've done. And again, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, grab a chair, get a seat, grab a drink, whatever you're doing. Come on in, get comfortable, and let's do this thing. Let's have a conversation, folks, if we will. Give me one moment, everybody. Let's get things set up here so we can get started. One second, guys. I'm having a technical issue. Hold on. Okay, can you guys hear me? Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, can you guys see me? What the hell is going on with this? This is weird. Hello, hello. Can everybody see me and hear me? What is good? This, of course, always something. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened or why, but here we are, back again. Dago's back. Tell a friend. You know, you know. Anyway, so like I said tonight, guys, it is just a. That's right, Jules. You see it in the background. Got to support it. I got family and friends, so I'm supporting it. That's what that means back there. Just so you guys know. If anybody has a problem with it, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Guys, please hit that like button as you come through the door. We got 146 amazing people in here tonight. Please hit that like button. We got 76 likes. Let's make it match. Please, if you will. I appreciate it. I've seen a lot of you guys over at Truth Not Feelings stream just a little bit ago, and I appreciate you guys coming through here as well. Appreciate that so very much. So thank you for that. Let's do our thing. Tonight, guys, it is the late show with the Dago. Who knows what we'll talk about? Who knows what we'll do? Hell, we could end up standing. I could end up standing on my hands doing leg presses. Who knows? That's not going to happen. Just saying. Anyway, again, happy Father's Day to everybody. You can't see it. Look at you see the rainbow back there in the back. The rainbow flames. It's in support of Pride Month, guys. So I support that full-fledged. Anyways. So let's see what amazing people we have in here tonight with us. Thank you guys for taking time out of your day to spend it with me on this Sunday. Speaking of which, who do we have gracing us tonight? Looks like Miss Wisdom Speaks. Miss Sherry, thank you for being here tonight. Evie Marie, welcome to you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Mr. Philip Hughes, my friend, happy Father's Day to you, and it's great to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Leslie and Billy, hello, my favorite Leslie. Good to see you tonight. Miss Avery, Murder Candy Podcast, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Jules, hello to you. Great to see you tonight. Miss Kim, hello. Welcome back. Miss Kimber, hello. B. Williams in the house. Welcome back to you, my dear. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us. Jolene. Miss Jolene 420, happy Father's Day to me. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Miss Cherry Martin, welcome back, dear. Good to see you. Norma Fralin, hello, and welcome back. Just Amber's in the house, guys. Hello. Thank you for joining us tonight, Miss Amber. Let me see. Tomboy Charm, welcome back, my dear. Good to see ya. Spicy Sugar, hello to you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Miss Paula, hello and welcome back to you. Cluminati, hello and happy Sunday to you. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Ace's Mama, welcome back. Great to see you tonight. Virginia, what's going on? Good to have you here. Always me, 1969. Great to see you. Leandra R. Hello. Thank you for joining us, Michelle Farrow. Great to see you tonight. The girl next door. Welcome back to you. Trish Crow. Hello. Great to see you tonight. Kaylee. Hello. Great to have you back. Great to see you. Let's see. Truth Seeker in the house. Always a pleasure to see you, Truth. We need to drop Truth Seeker's link in here, mods, if we can, please, if I have any in here. Butterfly 71, great to see you again. I do see one. Miss Kimber's there. Shay is in the house. Welcome back, Miss Shay. Great to see you. Just being a Raven. Welcome back to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Lucky's in the house. Welcome back, Lucky. Good to see you. Kim Holmes. Thank you so much. Welcome to you. Great to have you here tonight. Sheila B, welcome back to you. Great to see you tonight. Let me see. Let me see. Trish Crow has been a member for a whole month already. That is awesome. Happy Dagoversary to you. Thank you for being here. Got to be a cornball, folks. Any chance I get, I got to do it. Break time 5. Welcome to you. Great to see you tonight. Let's see. Am I missing anybody? I hope not. If I do, Tina B, welcome back to you. Good to see you. Elizabeth Lander, same to you. Excuse me so very much. Come on in, everybody. Please grab a seat. Get comfortable if you will. Let me see. Did I miss anybody up here? I don't think I did. Let me hit the bottom real quick and see, because it just jumps right back down. Gary Epley, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Teresa S., welcome back to you. Great to have you here. Pineapple Icicle Tree. Hello, hello. Great to see you tonight. I love your name. Pineapple Icicle Tree. Pineapple Icicle Tree. I love it. Miss Paula, what are you doing? Donated 5 True Crime Cafe memberships. They went out to Miss Just Amber. The Pineapple Tree got one. Ange Carter, Spicy Sugar, and Genealogy Gypsy. That's so awesome. And thank you so much for that, Miss Paula. Congrats to all the new meatballs. Thank you for jumping in the sauce with us as we spill a little bit of sauce tonight. That is so very awesome. You rock and roll, Miss Paula. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for that once again. God bless. 3 more. 1 more. We need 1 more like, guys. And we are in that rhythm of alga. The rhythm of alga. Algorithm. Sorry, that was dumb. I told you guys I'm a cornball. Deal with it. You got to get used to it. 100 likes it is. We are in the algorithm. Thank you all so very much. And you made YouTube happy for the night. All 162 y'all. Come on in, y'all. What's the topic tonight? The topic is whatever we talk about. A Raven. There's a couple things I'm going to throw out there for us to gab about a little bit. Tanya TX, welcome and thank you for joining us. Miss JC Ann's in the house. Welcome back, JC. Great to see you. There's a couple different things, like I said, we can throw around. Genealogy Gypsy, good to see you. I didn't even see you, but you got a membership and you're here. That's awesome. Welcome up to all of the new meatballs and welcome to the sauce, guys. Alabama Mama's in the house. What's going on? I hope you're enjoying your vacation, sitting in your condo, watching you live. My husband thinks I'm addicted to you. And clue and truth. Well, I mean, let's put it this way. Alabama Mama's husband, there's worse things she could be addicted to than the 3 of us. I'll just put it that way. And Alabama husband, you are welcome in here too, my brother, just so you know. Come on, guy. Oh, that's so nice of you, Leslie. Please hit the like button for the great Father Dago. You guys are awesome. I love that. That's amazing, Leslie. Thank you so much. I love you so much. I appreciate you more than you know. Truth Seeker, guys. There's Cluminati's link. Thank you, Miss Sherry. Thank you so much. If we can, please drop Truth Seeker's link if we can find that there. I appreciate that so much. I can, Miss Terry, if you'd like. I don't know how many other peeps we got that are going to be joining us. I dropped a couple links. It's up to them if they're not too tired or too busy. I know these late night ones, a lot of people can't get it because it's late. Genealogy says she's addicted too. Oh my gosh. Us 3 are great. Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. I know Clue does, and as does Mr. Truth. We do appreciate you so very much. Again, Gary, thank you so very much. I appreciate that, as does Clue, I'm sure. Miss Lily C. What is going on, Miss Lily? Thank you for joining us tonight. Hope you're all having a great weekend. Plumy, how are ya? I like yours. Late for me is early in the morning. Hey, good deal. Whatever works out. Thank you so much, Miss Jules. As we do you. Andy Rose. There's my Andy Rose. Hello, Miss Andy. Thank you so much for joining us tonight again. Miss Lily, thank you so much for that. The great three. Well, I appreciate that, Leandra. I do very much. Boom. Something's going on with stuff tonight, guys. The technical stuff is not working right. So if something happens, it wasn't me. I apologize ahead of time. I don't know what's going on. Miss Terry, how are you tonight, dear?
You're gonna have to speak up because I just got off of Bullhorn Betty's chat. This doesn't shut up.
I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay?
I don't know why I don't know why she needs a bullhorn.
I don't think she does. I think she's got one already built into her face. What's happening, Cluey Clue? How are you tonight?
That was my bad. I didn't see that you sent me that.
That's okay.
I've been trying to get. Let me tell y'all something. That crock pot from Drew Barrymore, do not buy that thing.
Oh, her line of kitchen stuff?
Yes, because the top doesn't have like a, what's the word, a clicker, like a fastener on it. And it
really?
takes it takes the longest time to cook stuff in it. It's gorgeous, but Jesus, fix it.
How if there's no latch on top of it, how do you seal it?
You just it's meant to like just put the lid on it, right? But like the Pioneer Woman, when I have it, has latches on the side that hold the lid down.
Mm-hmm.
Like it takes the longest time to cook stuff in this crock pot.
Oh, so it doesn't have a tight seal, and it doesn't. I got you. Okay, that makes sense. Welcome, Kimber.
Paula.
Yes.
Thank you.
Slow cookers are supposed to cook. Okay, Paula. Okay, Paula. Yeah, that was good.
So you're saying the operator error? That's what she's saying. I get. I mean, hey, there's something to that.
Y'all,
I've never heard of
7 hours on high.
What were you making?
Pork barbecue.
Oh, okay. Like make like pulled pork. Yeah, okay. That's right. We talked
7
about
hours on high.
No. You need to get one of these things we have. It's what is it called? Oh my god, I have two of them actually.
Instapot.
Yes, that's it. The Instapot. You drop that thing down inside that, and you could do like that's how we make our pulled pork, and it's done in like 20 minutes, the whole thing, and it's completely tender. It's stupid, really good. 20 minutes.
I looked at one of those. Is that like the like a Cuisinart thing?
Cuisinart does make one, yes. I think that is the brand that we have. Hello, Mom.
Hello.
Happy not Father's Day to you. Happy not Father's Day to all of you ladies.
Hi, Mom.
Happy Father's Day to you. Did you get treated?
I did. I went to I've never been to Michigan Barbecue, and I went there earlier this afternoon. My kids took me. It was good. Very good. If you ain't never been there, you got to go try it.
Where's that?
Yes.
Mine is in Niles. I went to Niles today.
There's
a lot of them.
Kansas City has so much barbecue, and then I moved here, and South Carolina barbecue place.
Well, you're up near Akron, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Hartville.
Okay, I think they're actually. Hold on a minute. Let me look. I'll give you locations. I did this for Clue earlier. She's got 4 of them near here. I'm telling you guys, if you like smoked, like Southern style meats and stuff like that, this place is the bomb. No lie.
But is it the red sauce barbecue?
Oh, there's 5, 6, 7 different sauces you can get, Clue. They give you. Okay, go ahead.
I don't like that. I like the vinegar, right? Like North Carolina barbecue.
They have one that's called North Carolina Stinger. I'll show you real quick. I'm gonna pull it up. You guys got to see this place. And all the money goes to the military, the veterans.
Oh hell, I'll eat there.
For real. It's and the place is the way it's decorated. It's badass.
I like the pulled pork with a lot, and like Wits, that you can get pulled pork, and then you can get a real light vinegar sauce to put over the. It's like a vinegar sauce that goes over the top of the meat.
Yeah.
That's how I like it. I don't like a red sauce on my barbecue.
Well, see, they put this shit right here. Their corn on the cob is like I would stab somebody for it. I'm just telling you, it's that good.
Well, that's kind of rude.
I'm sorry. If you try to take it out of my hand, I'm gonna stab you with the corn. It's that good.
If you could give me the corn holders, I'd be like
100%.
And put in my ear while I was listening to Bullhorn Betty.
This is the only thing that's not any good. This right here is gross. I'm sorry, but their potato salad is not good. It's weird. It's weird. My wife is from the South. She makes her potato salad that with like it's got a sweet tang to it a little bit, like sweet pickles stuff. I don't know. Again, it's don't eat their potato salad. It's just not good. Their macaroni and cheese is amazing. Their greens are amazing. Their coleslaw is very good. I had the smoked salmon. See what this is what it is. It's all about this right here. And I was sitting there reading it when I was sitting in the restaurant, and it'll bring a tear to your eye. It's really awesome. One
Coming from the man that ate dead cats.
What'd you say, Terry?
Coming from the man who ate dead cats.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Mission Barbecue is fire. And then on Christmas time, they hang up receipts. And like, if you don't have the money to have your own to pay for your meal, you can nonchalantly grab one of them or get the number off of it. When your waitress comes to your table, you just tell them what the number was.
Yep.
And they serve you your meal for free.
They give you that meal for free, 100%, no lie. All right, so here we go, Terry. In Ohio, we got them everywhere. I went to this one, the Niles, today. We got Westlake, Parma, Niles, Menor, Mason, Dayton, Canton, Brunswick, and Boardman.
Oh, yeah, there's 4 right around us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tennessee is Nashville, Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro.
I could never say that ever. Clarksville and Chattanooga. Let's see. Florida. I know there's a bunch in Florida too. Look, that's Florida. That's a whole damn list right there. It's everywhere. I'm trying to think. Mom, you're
the one we go to is Oviedo.
Right. Okay, Oviedo. I got you. Right below Orlando.
Yeah, it's got a big army truck out in front of it.
Yep, that's what we had. They all do. Every one of them has one of those big trucks. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Let me see here.
My in-laws are veterans, so anytime we have like a family meal, we always come by here and then go get them and go to the one in Oviedo.
And they wanted to give me a discount because one of my kids, they honor servicemen and women, and they honor civil servants, as in like firefighters and EMS workers and police officers, military, of course, all that. They wanted to give me a discount, like a 75% discount on my meal today. I was like, damn. So that was interesting because my kid was like, he's a firefighter and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. It was really, really a good experience. And there was a guy that came up to the table as we were eating and said, is this your first time here? Blah, blah, blah. And we're like, yeah, it's very good. Thank you. And then he came back and said, thank you. We had 8 people with us. And they brought back brownies to the table and said, we want to welcome you to come back again. I hope you enjoyed your meal. So on and so. I was like, damn, they were good too. They had big chunks of dark chocolate inside the brownies. It was like shit. New Jersey, New York. New York has Albany and Henrietta.
Ooh. I say we would take a road trip to Kansas City, eat barbecue, go to a Chiefs game.
Right? I don't know. I'm trying to see what would be close to you, Terry.
There's Mission. I know where that is. That's like kind of like North Canton.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking that, but anybody else need to know? I'm telling you folks, it's really good. Bobby, really? Bobby said, I tried Meals on Wheels, but it ran out on me. That was a good one. What?
Oh, there's a really good barbecue place on your way into Kent on 43. It's just like this trailer, this like wooden looking trailer. Do you know what I'm talking
about? No, I have not. I haven't been up that way in a long time.
It's very good. It's right off the highway as you're going into Kent on 43.
Okay. Wait a minute. Kansas?
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Meals on Wheels outran me.
Oh.
Like it took off on you because it's on wheels?
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay. I'm sorry.
It's all good. You're pretty, Clue. You're pretty.
I was like, I'm like, why is that funny?
We love her, guys. We love her. Kansas don't have it. I'll be damned. And they have a Kansas City barbecue sauce that they offer. That's crazy. I'll be damned.
I think this is great what they do.
I do too. That's why that's why my kids wanted to go there to support that, as well as, you know what I mean? It's not showing did I click on the wrong thing? Open up the damn menu.
You got to go to the restaurant to see the specific menu for that.
Oh, yep. Okay. All right. So let me go here and then go here.
Okay, Dago, you're pretty.
I'm pretty. I am pretty. That's right. I'm pretty. Thank you, Cletus. I appreciate that. I'm pretty. All right. So here's the menu, folks. That was good. That was good. That was instant karma, folks. Instant karma. Their brisket is the shit. Okay. And you can get it. It's weird how they have it. You can get it moist or not moist. Okay. And all that means is, I know that word sucks, but it's either like well done and dried out per se, or it's kind of like super tender and like medium, I guess medium well, whatever you want to call it. The only thing that wasn't tried from our family was their sausage. Everybody else had everything else. The turkey's amazing, the chicken, the pork, and the brisket. The brisket is the best brisket I've ever had in my life.
Huh.
Their greens are the shit. I mean, absolutely. The macaroni and cheese is good. My wife tried the baked beans. Those are really good. Their coleslaw is very good. The green beans my granddaughter had, she loved those. Their French fries are amazing. I had those. The potato salad is disgusting. Don't eat that. I'm sorry.
I like how it says not frozen.
What's that?
It says under the French fries, not frozen.
Mm-hmm. They cut them as they make them. I've never seen that before. They're sitting there with the thing, cutting them, and they're frying them, and then putting them on the plate as they make them per customer. Mm-hmm. That's got to get old though. But they do it, and they were good. I had the salmon, which was very, very good. They do the sandwiches. My boys, the twins, got the where'd it go? I just saw it up here. The meat sampler, where you get a little bit of every meat, and they put these little things on the table. They're not showing the oh wait, maybe they do. The sauces. They put these little things like a thing, and they have these little squirt bottles of all these different sauces in it on the table, and you can try whatever sauce you want. They got Kansas, or there they are right there. Memphis Belle, Smoky Mountain, Tupelo Honey Heat, Kansas City Classic, Texas Twang, which is really good, that one. Baby Q, the Alabama White is very good, and so is the Carolina Vinegar. They're not red sausage at all. The Georgia Mustard is good, and so is the Craftsman Special. I don't like the Memphis Belle is a very bitter, like red. I just don't like that. And I didn't like the Kansas City Classic one either. That Tupelo Honey Heat, I put that on my salmon. That was really good.
It sounds good.
It is. The one, where's it at? That Tupelo Honey Heat, it's just got just a little bit of kick to it. But the The Texas twang, that's kind of hot, and I liked it. It was really good. I'm just saying, folks. And oh, and you get a piece of cornbread with every meal too, and that was the bomb. And the prices, I don't think for what you get, the prices aren't bad. And it's kind of cool because they serve it on a piece of it looks like a brown paper bag. They put that on a tray. They dump your food on there. They get the sides in little cups, but the meat goes right on that paper. And then your sauces are at the table, and you can squirt whatever sauce you want on it and eat away. It's really good, folks. Very good. So if you ain't been there, go check it out.
This root beer is good too.
Did you get it finally?
I did.
Dude, I'm in love with it now. I won't be drinking nothing else but that. I'm done with the Pepsi. Sorry.
Well, I typically drink Diet Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never thought there was a drink that was better than that, but this probably is better than that.
Doesn't it taste just like regular A&W root beer?
Yes, it doesn't even have an aftertaste of Diet either.
Thank you. See?
Why does it have a Prop 65 warning on it?
What are you talking about?
Did you order it off Amazon?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why? They have it on Amazon?
Uh-huh.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord.
Soda?
Yes. Oh, they got all sorts. Dude, I get coffee and creamer sent to me on Amazon.
Well, that's different. I would think I wouldn't want my stuff
Hold up.
jerked
Let me
around
see.
before it's shipped. I would never order soda off there.
I'm pretty sure that's where I know a bunch of people that order their groceries off Amazon. Hold on a minute.
Oh, that is true. They do have that. Well, see, we ain't got that where we are, the pantry thing.
Uh-huh.
But no, I ordered it.
Oh, you can get the packets too, right? The drink packets you can add to water.
Oh, for the root beer?
Yeah. Hold on a minute. I just seen it.
Oh, that you put in a plastic bottle, a single serving bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. There it is.
Root beer?
Right there.
Really?
There they are. Yep.
I don't know if root beer would taste good not being fizzy.
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering, but they sell those. A lot of people have those machines that make the carbonated water, and you just add flavor to them.
Soda stream.
Right, that would probably work for that. But yeah, see, there it is right there, Clue. They got it in cans and they got it in them bottles.
It's so good.
It really
it makes me super gassy, but I've been drinking the crap out of it.
$48.98 and $7.36 for a 12-pack of the cans. I love it. I'm telling you right now, it is my new food.
$46. I'm about to sell this on Amazon. $46.
What is that? 12 plastic. Wait a minute. 12 plastic bottles with Mooresville merchant decal for $48.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know about that. $43 for a pack of 16.
Yeah, you got to think people that maybe overseas and stuff that they may not have that. They'd pay that.
Hold up, though. What is this? 12 full-ounce cans for $29.95. Oh, hell no.
I'm telling you.
Something ain't right with that. I'll go to my dollar store.
Listen, I know you think I'm kidding, but ask fiance about his eggs.
Yeah, at Easter, right? Reese's Pieces makes the Reese's Pieces eggs. And that is my favorite thing, right? And I will buy as many as I can. This year, I've wound up with 60 some odd bags of them, and you get them at Easter for about $3 a piece. Well, as soon as Easter is over, you can still buy them, but you'll see them anywhere from $15 to $30 a bag.
And people buying it, they will pay for that.
Damn.
I'm not kidding you. We will go on there, and there will be people that have reviewed it yesterday.
That's crazy. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, that's my new favorite soda. Like I said, it's zero sugar, folks, but you can't tell. Like I with the Pepsi Zero, I liked that, but there's that little bit of aftertaste because you know it's got that aspartame or whatever the hell they put in that shit. The root beer, no, there is no difference. I'm sorry.
Have you even tried it yet? Try it.
I throw a bottle in the freezer and let it get just a little bit of ice in there, a little slushy. Oh my god,
and then
it's the bomb.
You want to drink.
Oh, they got the A&W cream soda too. It's zero sugar. If you guys like that, by the way.
Nope, can't drink cream soda. I watched the guy throw up one night mixing Southern Comfort and cream soda. I'll never, ever touch that stuff again.
If you take orange soda and you put vanilla ice cream in it, it tastes like an orange creamsicle.
Creamsicle, yes, ma'am, it does.
About to get Sarge to try that since that's all he drinks is fruit flavored soda.
Yep, like orange and grape soda. Yep.
Yeah.
He's such a child.
Yeah, if we can drop Mystery's link in here. I didn't know Mystery had a channel. I think, or maybe yes, I did. Drop Mystery's link in here, please, if we can. Or Mystery, you're welcome to yourself if you can. No, I don't think you can. I think one of the mods have to do it. Are you in here, Mom?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you're awful quiet tonight. How was your weekend?
Well, the weekend went pretty well. I mean, all but the fact that I got woke up early as hell Sunday morning, being this morning, the morning I usually sleep in until it's no longer humanly possible, to, oh my God, it's flooded. So most of my Sunday was spent with two shop vacs and every beach towel that I own, cleaning up a catastrophe.
What flooded?
What catastrophized?
The whole downstairs flooded. I have a
it
teenage daughter, and not to be graphic, but I believe that she flushed some womanly stuff that does not belong in the pipes. And
that's caca.
Yeah, no fun for anyone involved.
I guess not. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Oh, it's all right. I could have killed her because between all the rain and we're out in the sticks, so you got septic tank out here,
right?
And it was not pretty. So it was a whole fun day of cleaning up water and then cleaning the carpets and throwing throw carpets outside.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Then we went to Orlando, like in town, big Orlando, for the day, and took him to Father's Day dinner and came home, and I vegetated for about 3 hours.
Sorry to hear about that. I wish your Sunday would have been better.
Yeah, well, it was all right after that whole event was over.
All right. There you guys go. There's Mystery's link right there, everybody.
I could have totally done without it, though, to be honest.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't think that's anything any of us want to go through over the weekend. You're supposed to be able to relax. Welcome, David Clayton. Thank you for joining us tonight. Mittens for Kittens. Thank you for joining us. I've given Mystery, Dilly Pickles. Thank you all for being here. Welcome. Let's see. No shenanigans. Hello to you and welcome. That's great to have you all in here. I see the Roosters. What's up, Twiz? Good to see you. Joe Madre, hello to you. I know there was a little drama earlier in Texas. Another sad situation. I don't know how many of you guys saw that.
The family?
No, there's that too. We can throw that up and talk about that for a minute if you want. Thank you, Doodle.
What are you talking about?
There was a mass shooting, and
Juneteenth thing.
Yeah, Juneteenth celebration.
I didn't hear about that.
Not good stuff.
And then we had one in Michigan too yesterday.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
And I live right down the street from that, but
Oh wow.
The police guy that was talking made me cry. He said that when he went there, he said he saw all blood. You should never see this blood and ice cream cones and face masks.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I mean, they hit a.
That was that the splash pad?
Yeah,
that was a splash pad.
That's horrible. Good God, how often we don't see anything but negative stuff out here, honest to God, anymore. Every day.
Why are they going after, who's they, first of all, but what is going on with our kids in this country? It sounds like they're being targeted.
I think that's the question of the year, dear.
So who was the aggressor in that situation, for lack of a better word? Who was the one that did the shooting?
In Michigan or this one tonight?
In Michigan.
Yeah.
We can check that first.
It was the guy. He got out of his car and started shooting, but they don't know why. Something might have happened earlier.
Somebody taunted him, or?
I mean, it didn't happen when the shooting went, but he just drove up, got out of his car, and just started. I think he went through like 9 rounds of ammunition. I don't know what you call them. But.
Good God.
9. Oh, like clips, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there was a lot of. I know I saw the overhead scene, and I mean all them little yellow markers, like they were everywhere.
From earlier today that we're just getting some info from right now. Take a look at this. We do have some video of a scene from earlier today. So this is over in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Now, the information that we have right now, very preliminary. We're working with our partners down at Fox 2 Detroit to get more. But this coming out of Rochester Hills is that there have been multiple people shot, children and adults, at the Brooklyn splash pad. And that happened shortly after 5 p.m. local time.
There's a grandpa, a little boy.
Is still at large, so investigators are looking for that suspect, and that was as of 6 p.m. local time. Possibly what we're hearing is that 8 people had been shot. Some of the victims are believed to be children. So very preliminary, working on more of the details. Police sources are saying that at least 6 people were shot, so we're working to confirm how many people exactly were injured. No deaths have been reported at this time, but some people have been taken to the hospital. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office expected to give an update at around 7:30 p.m. local time there, and we're going to be looking out for that just to get some more information, because again, this happened at a splash pad. Gunman right there shooting many people, a lot of them victims, and some of them believed to be children. So we'll keep you up to date with all the latest.
Nobody. That's a miracle, honestly.
I thought 5 people died, so they changed that story.
All I saw yesterday was 1 person hurt and like maybe 14 injured or something.
This was the pressor from last night on it. I'll play this real quick. I think this gives the update on what exactly happened, I think.
Chaotic day, obviously. So the call came in, as I mentioned in my short brief, out on the street at 17:11, which is 11 minutes after 5, about an active shooter, shots fired. We have deployed a relatively new technology called Live 911. One of our sergeants in the Rochester Hills substation was monitoring Live 911. That allows us to hear the actual call come into dispatch before it's even put out over the radio. So he heard that call come in and immediately self-deployed to the splash pad and was on scene in less than 2 minutes prior to 17:13, which would have been 13 minutes after 5. The suspect had already fled the scene upon that arrival, but obviously there were multiple victims wounded on scene. Our deputies began providing emergency first aid, including tourniquets. The victims, we originally thought there were 9. One had been double reported at one of the hospitals. So at this point, unless someone went to a hospital and brought themselves to a hospital, which more than one did, we're aware of at this point 8, unless someone else took themselves to a different hospital. We're not aware of them. But the 8 ones that we have is an 8-year-old boy who has a gunshot wound to the head. He's in critical condition. We have a 4-year-old with a boy with a wound to the thigh. He's stable. A 39-year-old woman with wounds to the abdomen and leg. She's in critical. That's all from one family. We have a 39-year-old white female. She has wounds to the back and arm. She's considered stable. A 30-year-old female with wounds to the thigh and buttocks. She's considered stable. A 30-year-old male with a right leg wound, considered stable. A 78-year-old male with an abdominal wound, considered stable. A 37-year-old female with a hand wound, considered stable. A 40-year-old male with a right knee wound, considered stable as well. So first, I'd like to thank the community for responding. A lot of people have reached out and are very supportive, obviously. In my worst nightmare, couldn't imagine standing up here again talking about another active shooter. This agency has responded to multiple active shooters, multiple casualties. Oxford, we went to MSU and down Rochester Hill.
Yeah, I covered the MSU mass shooting when that happened live. It was active and live, and I was live with it, and I had the scanner going. That was insane. And I think I was still live when they took down the guy, and it was live on the scanner as they did it. And these don't make any sense to me, you guys. That this guy walked in and just started shooting, just like this situation. If this is all mental health, like something needs to change. That's all I can say.
It sounds like this guy was definitely targeting children because
right.
all of the wounds to the adults are lower, right?
Yeah.
Leg, thigh, abdomen.
And then the children have the upper right. I mean,
it's just a miracle nobody got killed.
I pray to God. I
mean, if that little boy don't pass.
Right.
I mean, I that's what I'm saying. I'm praying to God that this little boy, I just can't. I can't imagine going out on a Saturday afternoon with your kids or your grandkids to the splash pad to enjoy yourself, and then that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is detached in your mind that puts this there in your head? I just don't get that.
Well, that's like my dad. He's all the time like wanting to come by and like take her somewhere and go somewhere, and it's like, I mean, I feel bad, but I'm always like,
I get it.
Can go down the street and get something to eat, but you gonna come right back. Like,
that's what I mean.
These people out here are crazy.
Caden's 18 years old. He's a big kid. He's grown, this and that, and he's talking about, Dad, I want to go downtown and hang out and do this and do that. I'm like, bro, I mean, you're a grown man. You're 18. I mean, he's not, but he is. You know what I mean? I'm like on the phone with him. Where you at? What are you doing? You all good? What's happening? What's that? I mean, what are we supposed to do, guys? We can't sit on our kids for the rest of their lives. That's what I'm saying. And you just don't know anymore. You don't know anymore what I am telling you guys. I get anxiety when my kid goes to school.
Right.
When he leaves in the morning and he gets on that bus, from the moment he gets on that bus till the moment he walks in that door behind me, you've seen me. You guys have seen me when I'm live and I'm looking at my clock and going, where's Caden? It's 3:15. He's not here. And I'm all over the place. I had to pause and I'm on the phone. What's going? I mean, what happened? And they had that. It scares the shit out of me. They had 2 scares this past year where they locked the school down. And I'm like, nope, you can't come pick up your kids. The hell I can't. I understand you got protocol, but you're not going to tell me I can't come get him. I can't deal with that. Mentally, I can't break that down. Sorry.
Yeah, it's really sad that when we were in school, we had to do fire drills and tornado drills, and now they have to do active shooting.
100%. And our kids can't go to school with anything other than a clear book bag. Okay, they can't carry anything. They can't. And my son had, what grade was he? Ninth grade. He had a pocket knife in his book bag that he used. It was one of them little things for something. And he forgot it was in there. And he was in his book bag and he pulled something out and they saw the pocket knife. He almost got expelled from school for it. I get, the protocol and stuff, but like, that's what I'm saying. It's the extremes are scary now. The extremes with everything are insane.
Well, it is, considering you used to, like, I remember guys walking around my high school and they would have one on their, like, hip.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't do that now.
I just happened to think of something. When I was in 8th grade, we did we had an audio visual class that they were starting up, and one of the main thing we had to do was make a music video.
Mm-hmm.
And me and another guy brought BB guns, the pistols, and that just dawned on me. I'm like, God Almighty, could you imagine that now?
Oh no, and that's the other thing. Like, I was kind of a bad kid in high school, and we used to skip school and do different things, and we would leave at lunchtime and go across the street to the pizza place and hang out and skip classes and do that. Not no more. If my kid did that, I'd lose my mind. I would lose my mind. What are you doing? If you're not in that school or not in my house, you can't be anywhere else. Sorry. It's not fair. It's not fair to their generation. It's not fair that they have the things they have to worry about. I'm scared for my grandkids too. I really am, because it's just progressively getting worse.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna get no better.
I don't see it.
That drone thing. I'm trying to picture what they mean by that.
The things they deployed to the
911 drone.
I've never heard of those before. I can't give you anything on that.
Like what now?
What drone?
Here, I'll go back and let you hear it again.
He said it's live 911.
They're monitoring the 911 system, so when a call comes in, they hear it live.
Right, they hear the dispatch call.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
That's what he called it, live 911.
Yeah.
That's what he said, but I didn't hear anything about a drone. That's why I didn't know what you were talking about. I'm sorry. Or is it? Did they send a drone up to see what's going on as the?
No, he said.
No, he said
it was. I heard the call. He deployed from the
self-deployed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. That makes sense then. That makes sense. Oh, let me finish this up for you guys then. Sorry for interrupting.
And in between, we've responded to active shooters. So, unfortunately, this has become all too common in America, but especially too common in our community. And I am very, very proud of our people, again, in very difficult circumstances. And not only because of their quick response, their triaging of the situation, but the individual deputies got on scene very quickly and began to look at evidentiary things on scene. And by some of the things they saw, they did some intelligence work and came up with a possible address. Cars were deployed to that address, and a vehicle matching the description of the car that drove away from the scene, we didn't have a license plate, we had a description, was seen in that driveway. And we're still working on the timelines because we still had radio traffic that was only emergency only, but we believe within 45 minutes to an hour, we had containment on a home, which ultimately had the suspect inside. Contact was made. There was some, I wouldn't call it communication, but at least an acknowledgement that the person was in that home, and we had that person contained. We set a hard perimeter on it. We brought in assets, including our SWAT, our helicopter, our drones, and tried to make contact with the person, tried to bring that person out peacefully, and to no avail, had no contact back. After a period of time, we breached the home and deployed drones to begin an examination of the home to make a determination if it was still a hostile actor, and we located the individual deceased in the home. The reason that quick containment is critically important, in my opinion, and why potentially more lives were saved is we don't know what the next chapter was going to be. And when the drone flew into the home, this was on the kitchen table. So he didn't have just a handgun on that particular endeavor. He had obviously what looks to be an AR platform is still being processed. So I'm not sure. If I had to guess, I would say it's a semi-automatic 223, but I don't know for a fact until that scene's processed. But what I do know is that individual was in that house with that weapon, And I'm not sure how many other weapons were in that house. Again, it's still an active scene being processed. But I believe that because we had quick containment on him, that if he had planned to do anything else, and it wouldn't surprise me, because having that on the kitchen table is not an everyday activity, that there was probably something else, a second chapter, potentially. Obviously.
So this guy literally went out to this splash pad, did what he did, and then went home like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he used the handgun, because that could have made a whole way worse situation with that. I'll just tell you that. That's crazy. And he could have, they're right, he could have went back for round 2 somewhere else. This is crazy, guys. What I mean,
who is
crazy.
the guy? Like, why are they not naming him? He's deceased. Like, why?
Maybe because of his family not knowing yet. I don't know why though, because he's a shooter. So do they abide by that for somebody like that?
I mean, his house was all over the television. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right. Mystery just said that's what happened in Vegas with the shooting at the Aldine concert. Yeah, that one was crazy too. That was insane. I agree. His name should be attached to what he's done.
have they not said it yet? I haven't watched any of those.
I don't know. They haven't said a name, but I'll keep playing it. I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
We'll be looking for any evidence or manifesto or anything that would give us an inclination of what, may be driving this individual prior to this terrible moment. We have no contact on record with him, either at that home by Shelby Township or in any criminal history that we're aware of. So it's going to be one of those challenges to try to figure out why there appears to be no connection between the victims and the location whatsoever. The person doesn't live in Rochester Hills. He went to a Rochester Hills park. So it may be very much like Michigan State University, where the person had no connection to Michigan State, but just decided to go there to find victims. So that's where we are. Very active scene. Obviously, most of the information I'm giving you, that's our best at this moment, but it's still obviously very much in flux as we continue to investigate the situation.
I'm not sure I understand.
My watch doesn't understand even. So, again, I'm very proud of our team, the way they worked quickly, the way they deployed, the way they gained containment. And we made entry very quickly to ascertain if it was going to be an ongoing situation and to have conclusion, at least tonight. Our most fervent hope at this point is that all of the injured victims have speedy recoveries. None of us in this room, in this community, or in this country anticipated, going into Father's Day weekend with this kind of tragedy that families will be deeply affected by forever. And so we're going to do all we can to support them. I know the County Executive's Office has stood up in conjunction with Rochester Hills counseling that will be available at the Public Service Office tomorrow from 8 to 10 to 4. 10 to 4 tomorrow. If anybody needs counseling, no appointments necessary. You'll be able to go there, talk to people. We're here. We're supportive. Anything you need. And I hate to say it, but we still have All for Oxford Resiliency Center in place. If people need someone to talk to or need support, it'll be available there as well. Before I get to two other folks, there were their questions about the law enforcement stuff.
What else can you tell us about the suspect, age, or did he live alone, anything like that?
At this point, as I said, we don't have any contact or criminal information on him. He is a white male, 42 years old, believed to have lived with his mom. She was not home. She has been notified. It's our understanding that apparently he was undergoing some mental health challenges, but no one that we're aware of was notified. Yes.
You mentioned that quick police work at the scene led them to the home and helped with that quick containment. What were those investigative tactics used?
There was some evidence related to the firearm and some other things that they did some quick research and data examination on.
So the gun was registered?
The weapon, yes. And they gave us a potential address and they immediately deployed her.
So just to hear one weapon found on scene.
So far, yes. One weapon so far found in the home, that platform rifle on the table. There is some report and information that he potentially had 2 handguns on scene. We haven't confirmed that. And obviously the witnesses are going through both medical and trauma at the moment, but that we had one person say that they thought there were 2 handguns on scene.
Sheriff, what's next for you in terms of investigation? And do you fear that you may also not be able to solve the one.
That's a really good question in terms of the why. I don't know if he wrote anything, or we'll be able to gain some insight into that without him. That's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to put together what he did, timeline leading up to and after, and try to do those things. The why, if we can't find something committed, like in the Oxford situation, our computer crimes was able to access digital records and devices, and we got, basically the shooter in that case saying what he wanted to do and why. Hard to say if we're going to be able to do the same thing in this case, even if there was a record, but certainly that's going to be one of the first things that we go after, is to determine if there's either a digital or a paper trail that would give us some insight.
As far as where he used to live, do you have a record where he was before living in Shelby Township?
All I know is this address. Obviously, that's going to be a part of the workup. We haven't really had much time to do a complete workup on him, but at this point, we're not aware of any police contact or any prior criminal history.
And Sheriff, we also talked to witness who was there after this happened. Try to help out. You seem quite shaken. You also seem quite shaken by this. What's your reaction? How do you process it?
Well, it's hard to process. I can tell you that our whole agency has been buffeted about with a lot of challenges. From a line of duty death and COVID, and then Oxford, and then responding to MSU, and during the Oxford wakes, we had to leave some of those services to go to an active shooter in Orion at a medical building. So our folks, I'm so proud of them because they suit up and they go back at it. Some of the same faces that were at Oxford, I saw in Orion at that active scene. And a lot of the faces I saw tonight were at both of those and MSU. And so, it's a constant challenge. And we try to do everything we can with our peer-to-peer program and our support programs for our people, because it affects them. There are some people in our agency that still have not been able to come back to work after Oxford. So it's tough to process it because we feel deeply for our victims.
Sheriff, how crowded was the splash pad and how many shots?
Well, we know, as I said, have already counted 28 cases. They're still processing the scene right now. We're looking for bullet fragments. I actually found one in the road at a distance from the site. So they're still canvassing the scene actively right now. We know that at least 28 shots were fired there. But it's still active.
Was it crowded at the time? It was a nice day today.
Yeah, it was fairly crowded. I mean, obviously, I just ran you through that list, and that was just people that were hit. We've already been able to recover some video evidence from a nearby camera. It's not great zoom in quality, but it kind of gives some of the totality of the event.
All the victims, were they in the same general area, or were they spread throughout the splash pad?
It's not a huge area, and they were all kind of in the same area.
Do you know how the suspect was deceased? What the means was?
That obviously will be up to the medical examiner, but just from my impressions, what I saw on scene, it appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound by a handgun. So that could have been the second handgun that was seen on scene.
So there were at least two guns in the house then when
there was a handgun next to the decedent and that rifle on the kitchen table. I don't, again, know if there's more. We haven't processed the home.
Did any officers hear that gunshot, or did that happen before their arrival?
No, it didn't happen before their arrival because there was some, I wouldn't call it back and forth communication, but at least an acknowledgement that we were there and we heard or saw him. But that's how we knew we had him in the building.
Okay, so he did take his own life while you were on scene outside during the scam.
Yes.
Did the shooter get out of the vehicle at the splash pad?
Yes.
And you mentioned 3 of the 8 injured were all one family. Was it a mom and 2 kids that were there?
Yes.
And
2 of the other victims were husband and wife.
Talk more about that live 911 system. It seems like that made a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, that's a piece of technology that I was super excited to get and kind of inculcate into our policing capabilities, and also married up with another technology that we've begun to use called DFR, drones as first responders. So with a drone, we can have an operator actually geofence the 911 call and hear a call before it gets dispatched, and launch a drone to get actual what's going on, sometimes even before a car gets there, 20% of the time. And then people in that district can actually hear the call to the 911 center before it goes out over the radio. So it can markedly improve response.
Well, that does say drone. Man.
Wow, that's crazy. I've never heard of that before.
Well, and see, that's not the way he explained it.
No, that's not when he explained the first time, but I'm glad he clarified.
Right, because I've never heard of that before. I'm gonna have to look into that stuff and look it up, and we can check it out. That's crazy. So they deploy a drone that goes to the location and assesses it as units are en route.
I guess.
I don't understand how you hear the call though. That's what I'm not getting.
Well, I think that's probably in the car. It's almost
Oh,
like
so they're okay. So the unit, okay, PD is hearing the live call as it's
right.
being, okay. That makes sense. Got you. That is amazing, though. Good God.
Well, that's what he was explaining, right? It's called live, whatever, and they hear the call as it's coming in. He said the guy was right down the road and he self-deployed to the scene, and he was there in 2 minutes. So
they don't have to be dispatched now. They hear it as it's in action. Okay, which makes response team way faster. Okay,
right.
That's wild, guys. I mean, that's a good thing.
I agree.
Damn, that's damn. Drone program, City of Chula Vista, live 911 calls, direct first responders for improved situational awareness and okay. That'll also help. Okay, so that'll help like LE understand what, like, it assesses the situation so they know what they're walking into too. That's even better.
Well, it's super smart because, in my opinion, like if they just hear that call, right, and it's a shooter, well, where is he? Where's his location, right? So it gives them an opportunity maybe to have the upper hand.
Well, yeah, because they can have units respond to the scene and maybe units following if he's off and running to get to him. Do you know what I mean? To follow him. That's a good idea though. That's crazy though.
Well, even for officer safety, right? Like if you can see image on a drone as to where he is, you can come around behind him.
Yep. Right. And I mean, in an active shooter situation, like that is, you know what I mean?
Well, one thing I do disagree with though is, like, fiance and I were sitting here listening to that going, he left the gun? Like that makes no sense. But
he probably dropped it.
Fiance said he probably heard the sirens
and ran, yeah.
Right. So I think in some situations like this one, maybe it would be better to go in like quiet. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe, but at the same time, it may have stopped him from hearing the sirens, which made him run, may have stopped him from harming more people too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true, because I don't know that they would necessarily take him out even if they got there and saw him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they might.
I agree. That's wild though, you guys.
Times in an emergency, which is what it did here.
Is it protocol or will it be for deputies to hear and respond before being dispatched?
If they hear something that they think they can make a difference, absolutely they're authorized to do that. The one kind of balancing act we have is we don't want sensory overload on them trying to listen to radio, trying to listen to the phone calls, trying to drive. So we're trying to balance that, but we have that option available. It was utilized tonight to great effect, in my opinion.
Do you know how many tourniquets your deputies had to use on victims?
I don't know how many tourniquets were deployed tonight. I saw one for sure. We'd have to, that's obviously a chaotic moment. We'll have to figure that out.
What?
Yeah.
That's a good question, Bobby. Bobby says, how does the drone get there quicker than an officer on patrol in that area? I mean,
and who's flying it?
That's another, probably something, you know how they fly the drones in the military when they do like missile, when they're deploying missiles and bombing and stuff like that. Probably somebody sitting stationary somewhere like that.
Or it could be just automated, right?
Maybe, yeah. Like if you push a button and it goes, boom, they're off. They're the 911 call triggers it. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I imagine the location.
I think it's programmed into the call. Like when the call comes out and they trace that call, I would imagine and then you know what I'm saying?
And
It
takes
automatically
that, yeah.
deploys it. Yeah. Like a dispatch call would be like when we would be on the road per se and we weren't at station, we would get our call would drop, like say we were out either coming back from the hospital from a previous call or we were at lunch or something. 911 would come across the radio and they were like, medic 52, MI, blah, 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 address, and then we're off when we go. This here, I would have, that's still weird though, because I wonder if they would have to punch that into a computer and then that automatically deploys it when the call runs out.
I don't know, but I know these people sitting around inventing this shit are getting rich as fuck.
No lie. That's crazy shit. But it could be a voice activated type thing. If the voice, like an AI type scenario, if the voice picks it up or it picks up the voice and it automatically just deploys based on what the voice is saying. That would be interesting too. But see, things like that make me nervous. If it's not run by a human being,
right?
What if there's a when they came out with this whole robotic Amazon delivery type stuff or the drones that drop stuff like that, that shit's made me nervous from day one. Like, what if it like messes up in the computer or something, or the robot screws up and it takes it to somebody's house, or I don't know about that kind of stuff. There's no human being behind it. I can't imagine how good it would be. That's all.
Well, even the things they come out with where there is a human being. You seen these crazy people that are giving Amazon access to like put their packages inside of their garage?
Yeah, no. Nope.
Like,
I saw it was inside of somebody's house. Somebody had one of those electronic keypad things and
gave them the code.
They gave them the code. They opened the door, set the package inside, and shut the door. You're out of your damn mind if you think I'm gonna do something like that. Nope. No. You work at Amazon. That don't mean you ain't got a badge. I don't trust you like that. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. No. Okay. 911 operator deputized alive 9 most. Oh, okay. Got you. Okay.
Yeah, no, we haven't gone on social media. A lot of the stuff we were covered in previous cases has been digital evidence on devices, computers, cell phones, etc., not necessarily publicly facing, publicly posted. Whether or not he posted anything on social media or has anything on devices will be part of the ongoing investigation.
Yeah. This has been obviously a very difficult night for your community, usually a quiet community. What are your thoughts and how are the folks doing that you had a chance to talk to so far?
I love my community and my heart breaks today. When I got on scene, and I want to echo the comments of the sheriff, we are fortunate to have the protection of the Oakland County Sheriff's Office and the hard work of the Rochester Hills Fire Department. When I got on scene, I started to cry because I know what a splash pad is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a place where people gather, where families make memories, where people have fun and enjoy a Saturday afternoon, and it wasn't today. And as you heard, the victims, families, husbands and wives, what normally happens in our city didn't happen today. I've been mayor for 18 years, and I've often texted and supported my colleagues across the country who've gone through this in Orlando and Las Vegas and Pittsburgh, El Paso and Dayton. Never really thinking that it could happen in my community. Today it did. And it's a mental reset. It's a reminder that we live in a fragile place with fragile people. And it's also a reminder to be grateful.
Honestly, you guys, that is what scares me about this stuff, because like he said, he just named all these places: Dayton, which is here, Florida, all these places that this has happened. It's almost like it's a ticking clock. Like when is your area next? Do you know what I'm saying? Because there's no for sure that it's not going to happen. So it's almost like everybody's sitting on the edge of their seat. Like this could happen at any time, anywhere, any place, from anyone. That's what scares the hell out of me about this, because nobody can say it ain't going to happen here. Our town don't do that and this and that.
Yeah.
You know, like the Sandy Hook situation. That was a small town. Just it'll never happen here. And then that was the most. I cried for 5 days. No lie. When I saw that situation go down, I could not function for a week, folks, because I couldn't imagine. I still can't imagine all of those babies all at one time being gone. Do you know what I'm saying?
Imagine these kids. Like,
no.
I mean, something like that will change the shit out of you for like a very long time as an adult. Like as an adult, I couldn't
100%.
imagine being a kid and you're just out there having the time of your life, and all of a sudden you're just not
like that. Yeah, it ends. It's over. That's it. And it'll mentally detach people. Like I was a mess, and I wasn't there. The people that were there for Sandy Hook, I cannot imagine mentally the level of. I'm talking about the EMS and the rescue workers and stuff like that have to walk into that situation. No way. Nobody could ever be prepared for something like that. That's what I'm saying. You're right, Salty. Never say never. And after seeing what I've seen since I've been an adult, nope. It scares the dog shit out of me, folks. I'm not lying. Every single day. We live every day in fear, guys. Do you realize that? From the time we wake up in the morning until the time we go to bed at night, we are in a relative period of fear of so many things. This kind of a thing. Our schools, our children leaving our homes every day and coming home every day. All of that stuff that never used to be like that. It blows my mind. It really does. Yeah, I saw that, Janice. The survivors from Sandy Hook graduated from high school this week. That's hard to believe. That's so sad. That's why I can't stand that Alex Jones, whatever he was, that was not real. It didn't happen. Really? Unbelievable.
What?
Alex Jones that made this whole thing about saying Sandy Hook was a hoax. It never happened. They were actors.
What the fuck? Okay.
No lie. There's a lawsuit, all sorts of shit that happened.
Yeah, he lost his ass in that deal too. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, he did.
Paid like.
Who is that?
He was some media or personality online, and he just rabid lunatic.
Hold on a minute. It was insanity.
That's crazy. There was like talk about that with Idaho too. Like, is it a psyop? They're really still alive.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like what? I don't even know why a person's mind goes there. Like,
it happens here. It's the same shit we deal with here, just at a different level. Do you know what I mean? This is this piece of shit here.
oh, he looks familiar, but
Well, he was all over the news.
that's probably why.
And then he had some kind of a like a blow up or something while he was live on air after the Sandy Hook thing went down, and he's a joke, complete joke.
Isn't that the same guy that infiltrated? Oh shit, what's it called? I just thought about it in California. I just went blank. Yeah, I'm talking about where all the elites are supposed to meet.
I've had secret federal filings follow me that I'm committing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh God.
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Was that man speaking?
That's him.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
him.
Yeah,
Oh
hold
my
on.
God. Could you imagine being in a room with him and Bullhorn Betty at the same time?
Oh Lord.
No. Hold on a minute.
Crimes referred to the Justice Department, which of course wasn't true. They'd already filed it in federal court months before. They didn't even checked it. You're going to frame somebody and lie on the damn federal court with the nose already filed in court, you bastard. So you. And anybody else that tries to go on your, you want war, you got it. We're going to beat these people. Now I try to be dramatic here, but it's been a hard fight.
Wow. This weekend, Alex Jones went through a series of pretty bizarre meltdowns, in part due to his enormous legal troubles. In fact, he could be legally required soon to shut down InfoWars if the families of the Sandy Hook victims who he defamed and was found guilty of defaming get their way in court. Now on Sunday, the family's lawyers filed an emergency motion And in that emergency motion, they stated that Jones's media company, Free Speech Systems, has yet to show any intention of paying off the massive $1.5 billion judgment against it and Alex Jones. Now, both Jones and Free Speech Systems filed for bankruptcy reorganization after the judgment was reached. Typically, that's done in order to skirt responsibilities in paying the judgment.
Now, I'm going to show you something else, too. This dude, I don't know what is up with this dude, but hold on a minute. I remember this happening. Wait a minute. One second, guys. Sorry. Where's it at? There was something to do with him talking about 9/11 happening before it happened. I'm guessing. I think that's how it went. Does anybody remember that with the 9/11 thing with him?
He's a nut. Like, he got banned from Twitter, and when Elon bought it, Elon let him come back. And they had a huge spaces. I think I made it like 5 minutes in the spaces. There was so many people in the spaces that it got, like, Twitter flagged it and it got shut down. And there was like this, I can't think of her name, but I ended up having to block her on Twitter. And I don't block people. I'm generally one that gets blocked, but she's some political person. And she was having a meltdown because nobody would let her talk. And I was like, oh, I'm out.
Thank you, Sari, very much. Yeah, this is the dude that, like, he has come out with some things conspiracy-wise that have actually happened. He was right about some of that, but the Sandy Hook thing just pissed me straight the hell off. I'll tell you right now, because you just don't do stuff like that. He's crazy. He is crazy. Bless
they
you.
identified that shooter. I sent you the article.
The one that
the splash
his name.
pad. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mom.
There's pictures floating around, but considering the source, I don't think it's the right guy. It might be, but I'm not sharing it until I know.
Well, they gave his name. We already had his name. Michael.
Okay, I didn't know if he had his name or not.
42-year-old something. Michael William Nash. Yeah. Yeah.
What was sad was the sheriff had to put out a press release today to tell the press to stop trying to find these families. Stop reaching out to these families.
Are you serious?
I'm totally serious. It was
Why?
that the sheriff.
Why? Leave them alone. Let them.
That's what he was saying. He was like, when they get ready to talk to mainstream media, I will reach out to you and let you know it's okay to talk to them. He was furious.
Always looking for a story. That's all they care about. They don't care about the trauma that these families have to go through. Insane. Mm-hmm. And this is the other one that happened a little while ago today, you guys. Hold on.
The shooting that killed 2 people and injured 6 others at this park over the weekend. For more on this, let's go out to our Fox 17 there in Texas for the latest details.
Round Rock Police Chief Alan Banks says this Juneteenth celebration was supposed to bring the community together. Now the community is mourning after the mass shooting left 2 people dead and multiple people injured. The city of Round Rock's Juneteenth celebration ended early Saturday night after an altercation broke out between 2 groups. During the altercation, someone pulled a gun and fired it during the concert.
It is unfortunate that we're here celebrating a wonderful event and we have a tragedy that happens. My thoughts, my prayers go out to our victims. My condolences go out to the families of the deceased.
Round Rock Police Chief Alan Banks confirmed during Sunday morning's press conference 2 people died on scene. According to Austin Travis County EMS, 4 adults and 2 children were taken to local hospitals with potentially serious injuries.
All the victims and the deceased were not emergency personnel or first responders. They were actually folks that were there enjoying the concert.
Chief Banks says at this time, the Round Rock Police Department and the FBI are investigating this mass shooting.
you can imagine, with a traumatic incident like this, people are going to have different accounts of what happened and different accounts of what that suspect might have looked like. And so this is why it's an ongoing investigation. We're trying to piece that together. Our goal is to put those folks behind bars, and our goal is to get them put away for life. And we're going to work tirelessly to do that. No stone unturned.
Round Rock PD says there is no suspect in custody at this time. They are asking for the public's help. If you have any information on Saturday night's shooting, to report it to the police department. Reporting in Round Rock, I'm Jessica Rivera, Fox 7 Austin News.
All right, thank you so much for that, Jessica. As we're learning more and more about this that happened overnight, the altercation between two groups at a concert at a Juneteenth event there escalated into gunfire, 2 people tragically losing their lives. For more on this, let's go out right now to police in the area as they're detailing some of this overnight this weekend.
Police Chief Round Rock.
We just heard that.
Going to bed. Good night.
Good night. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye.
Good night.
They also had one just this morning in Massachusetts.
Wait, what?
They had another one this morning in Massachusetts. It was at a shooting at a pop-up party. I don't know what that is.
A teen pop-up party.
Okay, I've never heard of it. So
they're parties that they have that just pop up anywhere. They put them up wherever they're at. It just happens. No, Twiz, I know what you're saying, dude. And I listen. I agree. When you make a mistake and you apologize for something, that I'll give that. That's commendable. But dude, that's a hell of a mistake to make when all of those people lost their children, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that like he needs to burn in hell for it. I'm just saying, like, do your research before you come out and make a claim like that. That's all I'm saying. And then if you're wrong, that's different. You did some research and so on. I mean, you would know, but like he used to scream and yell about this being a hoax and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. That's a heavy mistake to make without it hurts a lot of people. I know what you mean by the, you made a mistake. Yes, I've made mistakes too, but I mean, that's pretty heavy, dude. That's all I'm saying. You can't really, how can I put it? I mean, it was all out to the whole world to see. You do the research, you see what it is, you find out, and he obviously did, and he still called it called it a hoax, and it bothered me, is all I'm saying, because of what the families went through. That's all. And I know the media, in some senses, especially mainstream media, definitely twisted some of what he said and did in a sense. So I will say that much. What is this? Oh, so 1 second here. I can't spell anymore. Okay. Good God, there is another one. You're right, Terry. Good Lord.
And you can't tell me they're not going after our children. I mean,
now, see, here's the thing, folks. This used to be one of these would happen every 6 months, maybe every year or two, or every 3 years or so. We're at the point now where we're having 3 to 4 of these happen in a day, every couple of days, every once a week. I mean, what the hell is going on? No, I can see what you're saying in that sense, Twiz, but I don't know, dude. It bugs me. That's all. To each their own. Everybody thinks their own way. I have respect for that.
Why are they going after
gunfire erupts at a large party in Massachusetts overnight. 7 were shot, another was hurt while trying to run away. 2 of the gunshot victims are in critical condition. It happened in Methuen, a city about 30 minutes north of Boston. Police say all of.
And we just had, was it last week, you guys? Mom, do you remember this? I think there was a block party, a huge block party here
in Akron.
In Akron that all these people were shot at too. Mm-hmm. That was either last week or 2 weeks ago. Same thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, what, like last, not last, but this past Halloween in Tampa, they have this I can't never say the name of that little town, but it's Tampa. It's just a little town off of Tampa. And they were partying, and there was a 12-year-old shot at 3 o'clock in the morning. And my first question was, what was a 12-year-old doing in the middle of the street on a block
3 in the morning.
party in Tampa? But, you know, no, not my business.
Well, parents not watching their kids again.
But yeah, I mean, like, he wanted to go to the Jason Aldean concert last weekend, and I told him no. And he was like, it's right here in town. I was like, I don't care. I'm not going to a concert. I'm not going
That's the thing.
to go and be in a mass group like that ever again.
We've had to stop living our lives the way we've lived our lives. People stay home. People don't go out to things anymore. People don't go to concerts as much as they do. They don't go to football games or baseball games or go out to amusement parks anymore. People don't do shit anymore. People stop living their lives in fear.
We could have got into SeaWorld for $60 today, and I didn't even want to do that because I told him, I said, you know, tickets are sick, because I get text messages from the local attractions. And I said, well, you know, SeaWorld's $60. And I said, I don't even want to do that because I don't know. Having to push him around in his wheelchair, what the hell am I going to do? Push him in some trees and run? You know what I mean? Like, it's.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but
I'm laughing, but I mean, come on. I mean, that's what goes through my mind.
I get it. And that's what I'm saying. That's scary. You know, I mean,
make light of it, but still, seriously, like, what am I supposed to do? You know?
I said it earlier. We live in fear from the moment we wake up till the time we go to bed. And you can't even honestly be safe in your own home anymore either. That's the sad part. You know, I don't like to go anywhere. No lie, I don't leave very often anymore unless I have something to do or a doctor's or this and that. We definitely don't go out to dinner. We don't go out and do stuff like that. You know, it costs money and there's just and that. But I have anxiety from that now because partially from COVID, no lie. When COVID did the lockdown thing, I gained a lot of anxiety over that kind of stuff because I just did. So when I went to this restaurant today, I walked in, it was like a kid going out to a toy store for the first time in his life. It was weird because I walked in, I'm looking at everything like, wow, look at this, you know. But I'm sitting there and I remember looking around at everything. You're always looking at what's going on around you. It's like, it's so damn weird now. Never used to be like that. So it has changed. Things have changed society, and it's just not fair. It's really not. Thank you, Doodle. It's just not fair. That's a good point, B. Frank. You have to keep living and going, or you are missing out. I agree. I do agree. I agree.
Of the victims are in their late teens to early 20s. They were among hundreds of people attending a pop-up party that was organized on social media. So far, no arrests and no weapons recovered.
8 people are recovering from their injuries today after a shooting in Methuen. It happened early this morning, and as WBC's Laura Hafley reports, 2 people were seriously injured.
The Essex County District Attorney's Office is searching for suspects after they say 7 people were shot in this industrial park area, including 2 people now in critical condition. These tire tracks left behind in a Lindbergh Avenue parking lot after a car meetup in Methuen turned violent.
We have some blood splatter and a sweatshirt in the middle of the road.
The Methuen Police Department responded to multiple 911 calls around 2 o'clock Sunday morning after bullets rang out in this industrial park area. 8 people were injured, 7 of them shot, and 2 are now fighting for their lives.
Another tragic case of gun violence that brings us together.
The violence broke out during what police are calling a pop-up party organized on social media.
These spontaneous car club meetups, they generally do not escalate to this type of violence.
Gatherings known to the Essex County District Attorney's Office and local police, which monitor the illegal events, usually filled with drinking, dancing, and dangerous driving. But this one was worse.
There were hundreds of people here. And when you think about the ballistics evidence that we're recovering, it's incredible that not more people were hurt.
Essex County DA Paul Tucker and Methuen Police Chief Scott McNamara say investigators are sifting through piles of evidence, but so far no weapon has been found, a concern for neighbors.
I was surprised because never happened things like this around here.
Manuel Herrera lives just a few blocks away in a community he says is filled with families and young children.
I don't know what really happened and how, but hopefully it never happened again.
Law enforcement officials are pursuing any and all leads, but they're asking anyone with any information of their own to come forward. In Methuen, Laura Hafley, WBC News.
again, like I said, it's just it's crazy. It's crazy.
225 mass shootings so far, and we're only halfway through the year.
In this year alone?
Yep.
That used to be like one every 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And now we're that number. Guys, that's insane. That's it. Social anxiety. I have it now. It's what it is. I don't like, we used to go in the summer times. We would go to like Geauga Lake or Cedar Point or Pioneer Waterland, the water parks. You do things like that. I don't have any urge to do any of that anymore.
That's 37.5 shootings a month. That's more than the days are in a month.
I know. That's more than one a day.
Yep.
Insanity. Pure insanity. What the hell is going on, you guys? You're not the only person to ask that question. Thank you, Doodle. Sorry. You're not the only person to ever ask that question over the past couple of years, Terry, that I've heard about people. And people are like, that's a conspiracy. That's this and that. But it doesn't really seem like it is about the kids being targeted.
No, they're definitely, I mean, just
it sure as hell looks like it in one form or another.
I just don't get it. Heck, you can't stay safe in your home anymore. I mean, look at what we had about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago where the guy was walking around with a gun and everybody's in lockdown.
Yep. Yeah, that's I'll tell you right now, you guys, that is the worst feeling in the world. To get a call from the school when you know your child's in school and they're talking about a lockdown. Nope. You want to talk about a panic attack and anxiety? Hell no. Nope. I do not grocery shop. I order and go pick it up. I am even afraid to be in a store and it happens again at Trump. I get it. I do, Angel. I do. It's weird though that when you're in a store now, I used to remember going grocery shopping or to any store. I enjoyed taking my time. You know what I'm saying? When I go grocery shopping, I'm in and out. If I go in, we go out. There's no hanging around and looking at different things and blah, blah, blah. And when you're in a place and you're constantly looking around at everybody you see, is that normal? Because I don't think it is. Never used to be that way.
I don't know, I'll be watching everybody, but I don't. From what we do here, you're a lot more high alert, and especially like the world we live in now. No, I'm definitely high alert. Like I'll be watching everybody around me. Don't be getting too close. You know, just. I mean, and I'm probably paranoid most of the time, but.
Well, I mean, that's what society has done to all of us, though, I think.
Like a friend of mine he does van life, and like he had me and him were talking one night, and he was like, the people that are camping next to where I'm camping at tonight, they brought me a meal over, and I told him, I said, I wouldn't eat that. And he was like, why? I was like, dude, I don't trust anybody, especially some strangers in a campground that brought me food over. What if it's got something in it and they're going to do terribly nasty things to you when you pass out? I had him cracking up, but I was like, I'm serious.
That's what it has done to everybody. No lie. No lie. Yeah, I talked about the one in Texas just a few minutes ago. It's just so crazy anymore, you guys. Everything is... we can literally come to YouTube, okay? I can wake up I wake up at 8 a.m. in the morning, okay? I can get my coffee, come into my computer, turn it on, and click on YouTube, and guarantee you I'll see some kind of something like this immediately. First thing you see. At least one, at the very minimum. Immediately. It's insane.
My husband says, and I agree with him, but he says, a lot of people just want their, their 5 minutes of fame, and that's definitely going to give them fame. So he's like, I wish people wouldn't talk about it. don't give it to them.
Yeah, that's true. It is true. Definitely true. Yeah, that's a good point. See something. Welcome, by the way. Most people are inherently good. Just use common sense and be aware of your surroundings. And that's what I'm saying. I think we've all become overly aware of our surroundings, per se. You know, I've caught myself doing this. I'm telling you, you see somebody that walks by and you're like, then I'll turn to my wife and go, he looked like he was carrying a gun underneath his shirt. What do you think? And it's like, what the hell? Stop. You know what I mean? It's just
and don't drive up the driveway. Don't be coming up my driveway uninvited.
Oh, I'm
You're
already.
gonna have me standing out there going, "Hey, can I help you? Are you lost?"
If you pull into my driveway, I've had people, because I live on a long country road that's close to the interstate. I've had people pull in my driveway to turn around, and I'm out the front door, standing out there, and there's a pew by my front door, always, okay? And I'm just like, what, can I help you? What do you need? What's going on? Where you at? I'm just turning around. Okay, have a good day. You know what I mean? It happens.
Okay, so what do you guys think about the kid that was 16 and they found in a grave that in between Memphis and Henderson? Is it Hendersonville? Is that right?
I haven't heard nothing about it.
They found that today.
Let me see something here. I think I know what you're talking about. It was oh, yeah. Hold on, I know which one. It was this is weird. 1 second, guys, I'll show you. Let me see. Can I find it?
Sadly, B, there's so many kids missing here in Florida, it would blow your mind.
This happens all the time. Here it is. Hold on. And it's everybody. I seen a bunch of people like they found Sebastian. No, they didn't. Hold on. I really don't like this channel, but he put this out. So
those of you following the missing children cases on this channel, it's very hard when we hear news of a body found, especially in the area or county the child went missing in. Our hearts sink, waiting for news. It's normal. Some of these cases have gone on for months, and while we cling to hope, the longer these cases go on, the more difficult it is to find the missing person, sadly. There was some sad news coming in this morning. A 16-year-old child was found deceased in Sardis Cemetery, Tennessee. Investigators are working to uncover the details as to what happened to this teenager. I've received numerous emails, and the distance from this cemetery to Sebastian's house is about 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's smack bang in the middle of Sebastian's house in Memphis where Chris Proudfoot was working at that time. All this information raised more eyebrows as we wait for answers. The Henderson County Sheriff's Office is reserving comment at this time. The circumstances surrounding how the body was found is also awful. A 13-year-old girl found the body, and her mother called police. I can't help but think of this little girl and the feelings she must have felt seeing a deceased teenager. It must have been traumatic for her. It's unclear at this time how the child ended up in the cemetery. The last recorded burial at the Spring Hill Cemetery dates back to April of 2004, with most of the graves unmarked and unidentified. As of now, the body has not been identified nor the cause of death. We'll share more details about this incident as they become available. Whether this is related to one of the cases we follow or not, I ask that we pray for the loved ones of this teenager. He is someone's child. Just heartbreaking when we get such news.
Well, there you go.
Well, you have stuff like that, and then today, like while we were out driving, I was just scrolling through to see if anybody was live. And because it's like 30 minutes to get back from like deep downtown Orlando to where I live, and some big, huge, like 1 million subscriber channel put out that, you know, Harmony Montgomery's stepdad was charged with murder and that her body had been found. I about had a meltdown in his comments.
Right. Thank you. Upstate New York. Let me see here. Thank you so much, Upstate. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can make this any bigger. Maybe. Here we go. Number of mass shootings in the United States between 1982 and December of 2023. Look, guys, this is awesome. Thank you, Upstate. So, 82, there was 1. 84, there was 2. 86, there was 1. And this is normal. Okay? Between these, you see this. And then we have this. Starting around 2012, it starts to get really bad. 7, 5, 4, 7, 12. And look at now. 2022. 12 and 12. That's insanity. Oh. That is absolute insanity, you guys. Wow. And again, I do not believe gun owners are responsible for this, guys. Most people that own guns and that are gun people, they're very responsible, okay? So that's not the answer. Upstate says, I'd be very interested in seeing who was in office the year that we didn't have any mass shootings. That's a good point. That is a good point. Let's see here. 2002, there was 0. Well, who was the president in 2002, guys? I don't remember. 85 and 83. And then 2002. That's a damn shame that it's been that long.
Is it Bush?
Hold on a minute. 1 second. I think it was. No. Yeah. Wait a minute.
Are they saying that still could be
What?
Sebastian?
I didn't hear it. Yeah, it was Bush. I didn't hear what you said. You broke up, Terry. Are you still there? Maybe not. Yeah, it was Bush. Again, thank you for that. Upstate. That's interesting to see that. I also wanted.
So, from what you just read, is there still a chance? Yeah. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up really bad.
Hello?
I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, but you're breaking up really bad. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Where'd you go, Terry?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh. So were they saying Sebastian? Yeah, I can hear you. Were they saying there's a chance it could be Sebastian?
No.
I'm right here.
I hear you.
Mom, didn't you say you could hear me? I just asked, did they? Oh, is there a shot? I mean, they didn't say that it's not Sebastian. So is that
They said it was
chance that it could be?
They said it was the body of a 16-year-old. So I think they know who it is. If they know the age, then they must know who he is.
How do they know the age that fast?
I imagine they pulled it and probably I don't know. I don't know.
They'll look at the size. They'll look at the weight. You know, it depends on when the body was found. If it had, like Doodle said, if it's been identified, they can go by teeth. They can go by bones. There's lots of different ways to identify. That's why when they put out like missing flyers, they put out the approximate height, weight, and the description. So, and what you were last wearing. That way, if you're found as remains, they know approximately what they're looking for.
Right. Or it could have been, they could have had an ID on it or something, you know?
Yeah.
I'll be right. Excuse me for 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. Right, Pam. The family could identify it. It could have been a driver's license. Could be a lot of different things. It's amazing how many people are found that are still on the unidentified list. VICAP is a website that you can go to, and it lists all the identified people, unidentified people. And then there's Facebook groups that you can go to that are specifically dedicated to like tattoos of people that were found and identified.
When I was like in 7th grade, and we lived out in the country, and there were like 4 of us. There were that were running through the cornfields, playing outside, and there were 2 escaped convicts that had literally they had their footprints on 2 of the different houses across the street that they were drinking out of the hose. And here we are just playing. There's helicopters everywhere on the front.
And Barbara. So Barbara says that they identified her son by beginning because his driver's license was in his wallet. So there's a lot of things that go into play whenever they're identifying somebody.
Wow.
And due to it is sad how many are never reported missing, or how many it takes years for somebody to notice that they're not around, or for somebody to speak up or ask questions. And look at Harmony. It was 2 years before she was reported missing. Steve. True crime reps, cop, first responder, EMT are often from the same community and may have interacted with the individual. That's another good point. Coming in hot. Good to see you, Mr. Steve. I hope you're traveling safe. Just going to take over Dago's panel while he's not here.
Welcome, Mr. Steve. Good to see you. Nice try, Mom.
Oh, look, he came back. He took it from me, y'all. I tried to hold down the fort.
You did great. Thank you. Good to see you. Cop, first responder, EMT are often from the city. Yeah, right. Especially if they know somebody's missing already. You know what I mean? And they're like, okay, this is who this is. So, yeah. Especially in small communities, too. So, great point. And welcome, Mr. Steve.
You know, if you don't have a gun, no worries. Just get in your car and plow through a parade.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, God. Daryl Brooks, right? Lord. So this is another scenario that happened. I don't know if you guys had followed any of this.
Yeah, me and Paula were talking about this in chat a while ago.
Yeah. Long day, a lot of miles covered. As long as you're being safe out there, Mr. Steve, that's what matters. Just heard you say about something turning around in your drive. Oh, sorry. We were just talking about in general people's safety and how scared people are of things that we didn't used to be. So that's about all, Metamom. What Doodle say?
You guys remember Hill Street Blues?
Absolutely. I was just watching that the other day, Terry. I love that show.
Yeah, me too. But if you recall, remember the sergeant would like have them all in there in the morning, and he'd tell them what's going on, and then he'd say, "Stay be out there."
Yep.
But do they do that now still?
Oh, they have briefing every morning, every shift break.
Do they get handed like the flyers of the missing, or how does
They
that
put
work?
it all gets pushed into their computers now. It's all computerized now. They don't run around with paper flyers, or at least not around here. Everything goes in their system that they have in their car, and they punch it up, and boom, it gets sent out to them. Anytime there's a missing person or there's an Amber Alert, it gets sent directly to the computer, and it pops up, and they see it. So, pretty wild. So yeah, this is
Should we talk about Bullhorn?
What's that?
Should we talk about Bullhorn Betty?
I would prefer not to if I don't have to, but we can if you need to after this. This is pretty crazy here too, you guys. I don't know how many of you guys had followed this out of Pasco. This is hold on a minute. It's pretty. I'm not 100% sure of exactly what completely has gone by at this point, but hold on a minute here.
Everybody good? Roll. All right. Good afternoon. So I want to start with prayers and praying for the family. I know a lot of times people say, "Oh, you always say about praying." Well, if there wasn't evil in this world, we wouldn't have to pray as much. And when I talk about this story today, you're going to hear about evil. You're going to hear about complex.
Okay, hold on. I can't understand a thing he's saying, so we got to slow that down. He must talk fast.
Investigation, and you're going to hear about an investigation that's still ongoing. So unfortunately, there's a lot of things we won't be able to answer, but I can tell you, it is a difficult case, and this will be an ongoing case, and there's a lot of things that we still have to run down and a lot of things that we still have to solve. So, we'll talk about Philip Zilliot, 25 years of age, Rain Mancini, 26 years of age, and their two children, Philip Zilliot, the third, who's 5 years old, and Karma Zilliot, who's 6 years old. And for them and their families, we ask for tons of prayers because this is an extremely difficult time for all of them. The preliminary investigation has said it's a complex, and this is still a missing persons case. Until the final resolution, until the ME comes back, it's still a missing persons case, but we were able to find human remains at the crime scene. And we believe it may be this family, but at the same time, as I can't give it definitive until everything is, the ME gives us that final confirmation that it is. I want to thank the members of the Sheriff's Office. With me, numerous members, but I want to point out, which we will speak, is Sergeant Rosa for Major Crimes, Deanna Huggins, sorry, apologize, Deanna. She's the lead instructor for human remain dogs, and Indy was out there with her, and so they were critical into this investigation. And Austin Polonitsa, he does the anthropology and forensics piece for us, and they get called out. Those two get called out a lot to go to different organizations, and this is a case that we need them right here in our own neighborhood to help solve this case. We're working with the state attorney's office right now. Because of that partnership with the state attorney's office, we're able to charge Rory Atwood with first-degree homicide on John Doe. And it's on John Doe because we do not know exactly the human remains that we found. But because of the statements he made, because of the information we've gathered, he's being charged with first-degree homicide. I want to thank the information that has come in. And I'm going to get into it. It's pretty complex how this information came in. And the great job of our detectives and our deputies. Deputy Callahan, their team out there were nonstop with whatever nuggets we got. They kept going with it. The other part too is, we still need the public's assistance. Call us. Don't call a friend who calls a friend who calls a friend. And that's what I'm going to talk about. That's what hinders the investigation. What helps us is if you call us directly to get that information. So this started on Wednesday evening at approximately 11:30 p.m. Rain Mancini, her friend picked her up at Rain's house, at Rain's mother's house, drove her to Rory's house, which is on Nottingham Trail in Hudson. This was the last time that Rain saw her mother and the mother saw her, which was unusual, as we'll find out later on in the investigation. Rain's friend, Rain, Philip, and Rory were all at the house together with Rain and Philip's two children, who I mentioned, and Rory's daughter, who is a juvenile as well, were all at the house while the adults were drinking. Philip and her son, Philip Zilliot, and this is around midnight on Thursday, and her son, Philip's mother, and her son Philip spoke on the phone, and that was the last time they spoke on the phone. Per Rain's friend, Rain, Philip, and Rory were all drinking alcohol, and they started arguing. Before leaving, Rain's friend hears someone say, "This is the last time this happened. You pulled a gun on us," referring to Rory. We do not have any police reports about that. A friend of Rory, this is around 2 o'clock in the morning, got a call from Rory, who was really upset and said he shot somebody and was frantic. That friend, then calls another friend who calls another friend, and we think possibly a fourth friend. None of the information came to us for another 12 hours. The sheriff's office didn't get any of that information, and it would have been very helpful for the investigation had we received it. Rory, this is about 3 a.m. in the morning. Rory Atwood then calls his baby's mother and says, "Hey, I want to drop off our daughter." And that doesn't happen until about 5:45 in the morning. He drops her off. This is about Thursday at approximately 2 in the afternoon. This is the first time that we, the Pasco Sheriff's Office, get information. We received third and possibly fourth party information that the suspect may have killed somebody. That's what I go back to. It was a person after a person after a person. This is when we begin our investigation efforts, trying to track back the real source of the information. We went around the property. The suspect gave us permission to walk around. Unfortunately, we did not find anything that was suspicious at the time. On Friday, we were able to make contact with Rain and Phyllis' family. So it wasn't until yesterday afternoon that we were able to make contact with the family, and they said they had not heard from them. It was unusual in the fact that they hadn't heard from them, and wasn't unusual in the fact that this family is a little transient, and they go from place to place. So around 4:30 in the afternoon, our deputies observed Rory Atwood. We see him out there. He gives us permission to go back on their property, which we start doing a more extensive search. We had the human remain dogs, bloodhounds, aviation, deputies. Because of the search, we were able to find human remains. This, along with several admissions, is what led to Rory Atwood being charged with first-degree homicide. As I go back to it, it's an ongoing investigation. Apologize. Our job is to work with the medical examiner right now to help identify the remains. The missing person case will remain open until everyone is identified. We are still tracking down leads, and we will provide updates when they're significant at the time. I go back to this one thing. We need the public's assistance. We do not know who those human remains are at this time. It's an active investigation. We're going to figure it out. But at the same time is talking to our detectives, the missing person case is not over. That missing person case will not be over until we know who those 4 individuals are. And I go back to those 2 little children. It's heartbreaking. We believe that they may be on the property deceased, but we do not know that definitively. And we will do everything we can to track them down. We pray to God they're alive somewhere, but at the same time is for that family, we need to find closure and we need to find justice. So with that being said, anything I can answer?
So you found one body?
So as of right now, I can tell you we found human remains. We can't identify how many bodies were found out there right now. We're still trying to work with the ME and get some forensics to figure out. Yeah.
What state were they in when you found them?
It's part of the investigation. I can't go into it, but I can just tell you they were human remains.
I see.
Yeah.
And then could you explain, sorry, there's a lot of names, and I know some of them have the same name. So can you explain who reported them missing and when?
So the first call came in that he may have shot somebody. That was Thursday. Friday wasn't really until we got hold of the family. It was Friday when we were able to talk to the family, and they said, "Hey, look, we don't know, we haven't heard from them." At that point, we were just going, okay, we were ramping it up since Thursday, late afternoon, but really when the family said we haven't heard from them, then we said, okay, these pieces aren't falling together. The hard part was as confusing it is for us, our detectives, and I go back to Deputy Callahan, his name keeps coming up for us because he was one that was like, I'm going to keep figuring out, I'm going to keep finding out who did this.
So it sounds like it was unusual that you learned about the suspect before you actually learned about the people who were missing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. That was the whole thing, was that we found out that the suspect stated to his friends, I may have shot somebody, or I did, and then we're trying to backtrack as to who may have been.
Can you talk about any idea about what happened here, if, you know why this happened or?
There was supposedly an argument. They had lived together for a little bit. There was an argument before, as you've heard, that somebody said that she had heard. Rory said, you know, they pulled a gun on me last time. So it has to do with them living situation. We don't know exactly what it was, but that's why we're still interviewing, investigating, and trying to find this all together.
And then did you say who owned the property where they were found?
I don't know exactly who owns it. I believe Rory was the one who was living in primary residency, but I don't know exactly who actually owns it.
Do you think there's more people out there who know more about what happened?
I believe there's definitely people who have information, because it sounded like people were calling people. It sounded like a train of but nobody called law enforcement. So that's the frustration on our side, is that we're asking anybody who got a phone call or knows something, please let us know.
Can you tell us anything more about this family and more about their background at all?
All I know is that unfortunately their living situations were never the best. They were transient, going from one place to another, and so they had stayed at Rory's for a while, and so something happened. Argument came out of this one too. All right.
Are deputies, are you still searching for possibly more victims? I mean, you say you found human remains, but you don't know if you found everybody who's.
No, absolutely. We're working with FDLE, and we're sending a lot of equipment out there to go search.
So this is still an active.
Oh, this is going to be off for a while. So, all right.
I just want to. Can you talk about the search and kind of what's next?
Go ahead. Rosa, you want to get into that?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michael Rosa, ROSA. I'm a sergeant at the Pasco Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit. I'm going to continue the property where we have a lot more investigative things to do, looking at the property, looking at the home itself, and there's approximately 10 acres there. So a lot of ground to cover. We have a lot of resources that we're going to use, a lot of agencies that are going to assist us as well, including the medical examiner's office. And we have a lot of investigations still due to identify who's there, how many people are there, that kind of type of things. And we believe that our suspect, Rory Atwood, may have spoken to more people about this incident. So is anybody out there that he spoke to, please contact the sheriff's office.
Will you guys be doing a lot of digging around the property? What kind of tools are you using?
So I'm not going to get to the details of that, sir, but however, we have a lot of equipment, a lot of highly trained personnel to search this property.
All right. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So again, that was possibly the worst presser I've seen as far as communication process. I'm not saying that it was his fault. It's just that there's obviously a lot they couldn't talk about because it was still ongoing the way it was. Let me see something here.
Those are the kind of pressers that just infuriate me, though. You know, why do a presser? Why not just put out a press release saying, hey, it's an open investigation. We'll let you guys know whenever we can release something.
100%. Like, that's, yeah.
I mean, you got all those officers standing there that could, you know, be on the property working instead of having a photo moment. Not to be ugly, but
in regards to that situation, here is this real quick. This is the Rory he was talking about, Rory Atwood. I believe this states that he was arrested.
Pasco County investigators are trying to piece together exactly what happened to a family of 4 that's been missing since Thursday. Thanks for joining us for 10 Tampa Bay this weekend. I'm Miranda Parnell. There is still an active missing persons alert for 2 Pasco County parents and their 2 children. But last night, investigators found human remains where the family was staying with a friend. That man has now been charged with first-degree murder. And 10 Tampa Bay's Chris Hurst was at the scene tonight and says deputies are still putting the facts together, but they believe this man killed the entire family.
Detectives have been out here all day at this 10-acre property in central Pasco County. The Mancinis were living there for a period of time with Rory Atwood, who tonight is in jail, charged with first-degree murder.
We pray to God they're alive somewhere, but at the same time, is for that family, we need to find closure and we need to find justice.
Philip Zilliott, his wife Rain, and their children, 6-year-old Karma and 5-year-old Philip Zilliott III, were last seen alive late Wednesday night at a home on Nottingham Trail. A friend who was also there says an argument started and tensions rose.
Before leaving, Rain's friend hears someone say, "This is the last time this happened. You pulled a gun on us," referring to Rory.
Early Thursday morning, the sheriff says Atwood called friends, saying he killed someone. It was hours later before deputies were called, and not until Friday before relatives of the family said they were missing. The sheriff says Atwood made several admissions to detectives during the investigation before a canine found human remains on the property.
And I go back to it, those two poor little children. It's heartbreaking. We believe that they may be on the property deceased, but we do not know that definitively.
That's because they need the medical examiner to make a positive ID on the remains of multiple victims. Meantime, the missing persons alert remains active, and they're still tracking down leads.
We believe that our suspect, Rory Atwood, may have spoken to more people about this incident. So if there's anybody out there that he spoke to, please contact the sheriff's office.
One neighbor was shocked when he heard the news, telling me he would often see those two little children, Karma and Philip, playing in the front yard. In Pasco County, Chris Hurst, 10 Tampa Bay.
Investigators were out searching the property for hours today. We will continue to monitor this scene and bring you any updates when we get them, both on air and online at 10tampabay.com.
Human remains believed to be connected to a missing persons investigation. Detectives have been searching for a family, including 2 young children. That suspect now behind bars. ABC Action News reporter Lydia Vasquez has the details.
The search continues for a family of 4. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office says 26-year-old Rain Mancini, 25-year-old Philip Zilliot, and 2 young children, 6-year-old Karma Zilliot and 5-year-old Philip Zilliot, were last heard from late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Investigators say they were at Rory Atwood's home in Hudson.
Their living situations were never the best. They were transient, going from one place to another, and so they had stayed at Rory's for a while, and so something happened. Argument came out of this one.
Atwood is now being charged with first-degree homicide. Sheriff Chris Nocco says it wasn't until his office got a third or fourth-hand account that a friend of Atwood got a frantic call from him admitting he had shot someone. Detectives reportedly then searched Atwood's home but did not find anything suspicious. Friday, deputies got a hold of extended family of the 4 missing people and were told they had not heard from them. Detectives then searched Atwood's home for a second time, and that's when human remains were found.
Those 2 poor little children. It's heartbreaking. We believe that they may be on the property deceased, but we do not know that definitively. And we will do everything we can to track them down. We pray to God they're alive somewhere, but at the same time, as for that family, we need to find closure and we need to find justice.
Investigators say because they have not yet been able to identify the human remains, the missing persons case is still open. The sheriff's office said they need the public's help.
We believe that our suspect, Rory Atwood, may have spoken to more people about this incident. So if there's anybody out there that he spoke to, please contact the sheriff's office.
In Pasco County, I'm Lydia Vasquez, ABC Action News.
Tonight we begin with a disturbing discovery in Pasco County. Deputies found human remains while searching for a missing family of 4. And right now, 1 man is charged with murder. Deputies have been at this scene along Nottingham Trail in Hudson all throughout the day and are still investigating tonight. News Channel 8's Georgia MacArthur is live from the sheriff's office with what she has learned so far. Georgia?
Hey, Ty, the sheriff's office says that 25-year-old Rory Atwood confessed to a friend after he was, quote, upset and then shot someone. Atwood is being charged with homicide John Doe until deputies say they are able to have the medical examiner identify those human remains.
Also, prayers and praying for the family.
Okay, so this is just another version of that. I'm a little curious. If this family went missing Thursday, maybe it's just the way they're wording it, but it's weird because I would typically think they would say they found the bodies of,
right, skeletal,
not remains. Does that sound? I don't know.
No, it's pretty common to use remains when they're gone. Yeah, it's pretty common to use remains when they're gone. Because
I think I think Paula's right. I think they're basically telling us they found the parents, but they just haven't
Mm-hmm.
found the children yet, which God bless. I mean, God, I hope maybe there's odds are the babies are okay. You know what I mean? I don't know,
Oh,
but this is just crazy crap.
just keep up hope and hope that they do find them, like in a shed or somewhere, you know, in the
Or
woods hiding or up a tree or, you know.
or what B just said, that's very possible too. Who knows? You know what I mean? Nowadays, listen, guys, I know this is crazy to say stuff like this, but nowadays I don't put anything past anything. I don't. I got you, Molly. Okay. So give me some Molly the map girl. So this is the area I'm guessing. Thank you, Molly.
Look at that rain. That's thick.
I know, and it's look how much like all around here you see this and this. It's just like nothing but land. This it could be anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
See the building though up there? See what I'm saying is there could be random. Well, you can't see me pointing at my laptop, but
Up here? You mean up here?
yeah, see the little random buildings?
Yeah, right. Anywhere. It could, and there's something here. There's something here. There's something up in here, it looks like. God knows how many other places there are back down through here. It's like, where's Waldo, you know? Oh shit, there's something over here too. It does. It looks like broccoli. You're right, David. There's a document. Oh, see, I didn't see. I was wondering. I'm like, thank you for the picture of trees, Molly. What does it mean? Oh, here it is. Gotcha. Thank you. This is the guy that was arrested. Thank you so much, Molly, as always. She's always working on it. So hold on a minute. Let me do this, guys. This will be easier. There we go. Rory John Graham Atwood, 25. There's all his aliases, all his relations, and his previous arrests. Battery, touching, or striking. Misdemeanor 34D, misdemeanor Florida, Pasco County, blah blah. Yeah, so he's got a record, obviously. And this is the guy that they have. So, wow. Every day, something new, something crazy, guys. Always. Never, ever a dull moment. We could come in here any given day and not. I will never come into you guys and say, I don't have nothing for you. Just saying, oh, wait a minute. Did you just recently do that? No, that's old. Okay. Yeah, I would never, ever be able to come in here and say, I don't have nothing for you guys. Ever. That's a sad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Thank you. And guys, there's Molly's link to her channel there. Please check it out if you have not done it yet. It's unbelievable. We've talked about how many different things in here that are crime related in an hour that are just it's very disheartening. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, he confessed to someone. And that's what the thing is. The chain with this, he confessed to someone who confessed to someone who said something to someone that said something to someone that said something to someone else. Like the police officer said, why the first person that he said it to, why didn't they call police right away? This is part of the problem. He has only been charged with one murder, not two. So if two people's remains must be gruesome to not be able to tell two. Yeah. Yup.
So what do we do about this? I mean, is there anything we can even have some sort of a?
No.
I feel so helpless.
What are we gonna do, Terry? Honestly, I mean, truly. I mean, we can. I mean, we do. We try to talk about it to get the awareness out and doing so. It's not. I don't even know what to say. Like, how can we stop anything or prevent per se? I guess other than doing what we do by talking, and it just doesn't seem to stop anybody. They don't care. We could talk about this all day. The news puts it out. They don't care. They don't care. People don't have. This is my opinion. People don't seem to have a fear of consequence anymore because there's no consequence. You guys remember a while back? I think you were in here, Terry, and we talked a little bit about it. That park, I think it was in New York or New Jersey, maybe. There was a park where they found body parts. You guys remember that?
I don't remember that.
They found these body parts in this park, and they arrested the people, right? Then they let them go.
And then didn't they find more body parts like a week later?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I remember that, like scattered.
And then they let them go. They went to court. They let them go. What? Because the way that it happened, the court couldn't do anything. What? This is what is on.
It's a slap on the wrist.
I'm 100%.
Your jails are overcrowded, and they're slap on the wrist and let them go. It's crazy. Yeah, David Clayton brought up an old case that's a really disturbing case. The toolbox killers out of California.
I was just putting that into the thing to show you guys.
I covered that story. My daughter-in-law, she's a big true crime buff, and she called me one night and was like, would you do this story? It's really gruesome, and I know it's right down your alley of stuff that you cover. And I was looking into that, and I was like, oh God, I'm going to have to be like super careful covering this. I'm going to lose my channel. It's so bad, though.
Well, just don't forget that we actually vote the sheriffs in, the judges in. Like I said, my friend,
I agree. And I gotta say, I can't attack law enforcement. Okay. I think maybe in some places, yes, law enforcement needs help. I can't complain about law enforcement in my area. I don't know about what goes on like in Summit County or anywhere like that, but Trumbull County, we're pretty much on point with what goes on here. They're quick. Okay. We don't have local police. We have county that comes out here, the sheriff's department, because we're rural. And like Trumbull County is huge, just as much as any other county in Ohio. They're quick and they cover the whole county per se. They have so many deputies that go out in all the rural areas to do that. They're quick. They really are quick. I can't complain about that. They're on top of things when it happens out here. So I can't complain about that. But the prevention about like, well, let's say the splash pad scenario. How do you prevent something like that? Or how do you, unless you tell people don't go out. Don't go live your life. You stay in your house and you lock your door. That seems to be the only answer there is. And we can't do that, guys. We'd be giving into, I hate to sound stupid, but we're giving into the evil, if you want to sound crazy, by doing that. We're letting this, we're letting the negativity win against us if we do that, which some of us do that already. Can you imagine what the world would be like around here if everybody just stopped going and doing things?
Well, you got to think from a different standpoint. If we all stay in our houses, they're just going to start doing more home invasions, and then you're still going to see it because this is the beginning since the beginning of time. You know, crime is not something that just came up. This is something from the beginning of time. It just comes in waves. You know, while we were all in lockdown, look at the amount of children that are missing to this day just from being on lockdown. Like, it's the lesser of two evils, no matter which side of evil you look at.
Right. I agree. B. Frank says, I'm sorry, but I think it's the way that generation was raised. Kids having kids, they didn't know how to raise them. I think God should be put back in school and well, there's another part to this too, B. I agree with you with putting God back in school, things like that. That should have never happened. Okay. Sherry said something earlier too. Wisdom Speaks did that I do agree with. I'm not trying to go religious on anybody. Okay. But think back to the 80s. Think back to the 70s and the 60s. People used to have a fear of, how can I say this? People as a whole, we had a respect and a fear for what would happen to us when we died. Okay. Where we were going to go? Where was our soul going to go? Okay. It's a mental thing, but psychological as well. The fear was that if we didn't live our lives a certain way, people were going to go to hell. Okay. And I think that slowly over the past 25 years, in my opinion, that's changed because there's so many people that do not have religion in their home or in their life anymore. People, it's not taught anymore. It's not a priority anymore in a lot of people's lives. It's become unimportant, and the fear that people used to have, this is just an opinion I have, by the way, guys. I'm not saying this is a factual scenario. But the fear that people used to have of judgment, final judgment, okay? And I know this sounds ridiculous in our world today, but I think this is a fact. That people would act a certain way to prevent what could be their final judgment, in my opinion. And it has slowly been erased from society, starting with the schools. You know, people going to church doesn't happen very much anymore because people don't want to go out. Okay. People don't like to gather together in places anymore. There's another thing. And it has brought along the new generation of children. Here's another one. They have no fear of consequence because there is no consequence unless like a teenager that's unruly. I went through this with one of my kids at one point. I've told this story before, where he was very unruly. He was not listening. He was talking back, basically telling me to go F off. He's going to do whatever he wants to do. Well, I have multiple friends that are police officers. One I was very close to, and I called him and I said, what do I do with this? How do I handle this situation? You know, I threatened to put him in JJC. I threatened to do this, do that. He laughed at me. Facts. So I called my buddy Jason one night. He was working afternoon. I said, can you just come by and scare him? Okay, scare him. And he was a thug, smoking weed, going out drinking. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know what I mean? You can't do nothing to me. Standing up to me, so on and so forth. Okay. So my buddy, he's out on patrol. He stops by, knocks on the door. I told him to go answer the door. And he opened the door and he was like, hi, I'm Officer such and such. Is your dad home? He's like, yeah, he's in there. That's what he did. This is the police officer, mind you. He opened the door and said, what's up? And he said, I'm Officer such and such. He goes, is your dad home? He goes, yeah. He's back there, pointed towards the kitchen from the front door, and stepped back and started walking back to where he was. Jason comes in, walks back. I was sitting at the dining room table, actually, and comes in. I was like, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing?" And I said, "Ty, come here." For what? I said, "Because I want to talk to you." For what? Because I said I want to talk to you. He was 16 at the time. So we go in the kitchen and sit down at the table. I said, "This is Officer such and such." So and so. Yeah, I know who he is. Okay. I said, he wants to have a conversation with you. And he explained this whole thing. And my son stopped him. This is no bullshit, folks. My son stopped him in mid-sentence and said, "You're wasting your time." And he was like, well, "Excuse me? What do you mean I'm wasting my time?" He goes, "I know you can't do nothing to me. So this is a waste of your time and mine." And I was like, "Ty, don't talk to him like that. That's a police officer. You show him respect. That's enough. Don't act that." He goes, "What are you going to do? Ground me? Huh? Okay." Like that. This kid was a mess at that time. And he goes, my buddy looked at me and said, "Don't talk to your parents that way. That's disrespectful. That's unruliness." And he goes, "And what are you going to do about it?" And he put his hands out and said, "You're going to cuff me and take me somewhere because I'll be home tonight." Just like that. I'm not lying. I'll get my wife to explain this to you. I couldn't believe this. I was floored. I was embarrassed for one. And I literally, I'm telling you no lie, guys. At that moment, I felt like I was empty, if this makes any sense to you. I felt like an empty shell because I felt that I had no control over my life or my child's life. And I was scared to death at the same time because this kid, I was petrified because of who he was hanging around, the things he was kind of doing, was going to end up in a grave in a very short period of time. And I was standing there staring at this kid and looking at my friend who's an officer of the law, who had the same look in his face that I had in my heart. I felt defeated, like I failed at something, like I failed as a parent at that point. What do you do at that point? There's nothing you can do. He was right. They teach this to our children in school now, okay? They teach our kids that they teach our children that they have more rights than the law does. I know that sounds crazy to say it like that, but they do.
Yeah.
At that point, I had nothing to hold on to. I didn't know what to do, and he was a mess. He proceeded to run away multiple times, and I would go get him and bring him back. I would have him picked up by the police and brought back. That's all we could do. I had him pink slipped at one time and sent off to a place where they medicated him. He hated me for that because he's like me. He doesn't like to be locked down. I did everything I could do. And at this point, I mean, he's married now and with a child, and all he does is smoke weed. He does have a job, but that's his whole life. He doesn't have any respect for anybody other than himself. He thinks the whole world owes him something. So I personally feel like I failed as a parent, even though I did everything with him that we did with all of our other 6 children. Okay. So whose fault is this? That's what I'm trying to say. I don't understand. Is it anybody's fault? Is it society? Is it the school? Because they teach them these things? Because I was not taught that in high school or in middle school or in elementary school. I was taught nothing but respect for my parents, respect and love for God. I was taught respect adults and elders, everybody else. I was taught manners. I was taught how to engage in life and society and all that and stuff like that. And I taught my kids the same things. They chose not to adapt to it. They started teaching our kids that basically that God's not real, that everybody came from evolution, and bam, here we are. That kind of shit. My kids started coming home and questioning God. Does he exist? Does he this? Does he that? Not everybody has to believe in God, folks. I'm just telling you, my family teachings were that of faith, okay? So on and so forth. They took that out of school. they allowed people, the Pledge of Allegiance is in the school still, but they allow people to not say it if they choose not to. They bring people from other countries into our country and they tell them that they have more rights than we do. And I'm not getting into political conversation with anybody, so please don't start one. These are all the things that have brought this upon us where we're at this point. It's multiple things, folks. What do we do? Because Terry, you've asked that question multiple times. That's why I'm having this conversation right now. What do we do? Because that's Terry's question. That's my question. That is everybody that lives in this society nowadays. That's our question. Guys, what do we do? There's no answer to that other than what we have been doing. And that's bringing awareness to all the things that we have here. And that's not the answer, though, guys. It's not. It's so frustrating. It's scary. Everything we've talked about here tonight is intimidating, horrifying, and absolutely the scariest thing that I can imagine right now, knowing when I turn around and look at my 18-year-old son or my 7-year-old or 5-year-old grandchildren, what do I tell them? What do I tell them that they have to look forward to? What do we teach them to look forward to? You see what I'm saying?
Nothing, babe. Nothing. Even kids right now, no joke, are calling the cops on their parents. Because I have a friend that this happened because they were making him study.
Yeah. Or because they were told to clean their room, or because they were told to finish their dinner, or because their parents threatened to discipline them physically because they got into a fight at school, or just all of these stupid ass reasons. It absolutely happens. It does. And I think it leads to that these kids that are troubled. Somebody must be talking about my nose is itching. Because there is no way to discipline them, to teach them anything, they turn into adult criminals. Not always, but a lot of times they do.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think we need to start using switches. And I'm sorry, but
we're not allowed to do that anymore, Terry. Sorry.
I know. That's our problem.
Why is my computer froze? Well, shit.
That is our problem.
That's what I'm saying. We're not allowed to do that anymore. We're not allowed to discipline. We're not allowed to threaten. We're not allowed. We're not.
Who makes that
allowed to do anything. The law.
Right. So it starts with the law.
I can't get my mouse to work. Hold on a minute, guys. What the hell happened here? Oh, there we go. I think. Where's this shit freezing up? Excuse me. I'm sorry. It does start with the laws, and well, not really though. What is going on? Bear with me. I'm sorry. If something weird happens here, I don't mean for it to. Yeah. Okay. Barbara just said, thank you for joining us, Miss Barbara. In the state of Missouri, you can't even yell at your kids or you get domestic. See, that happens in Ohio, too.
Mm-hmm.
Parents have been charged with domestic assault, domestic violence for disciplining their children. Are you kidding me? What the hell? Okay, I'm not a physical discipliner. I haven't been. Like, I think a couple times I have spanked my kids when they were younger, but just like little type things. I didn't have to, okay? My kids, I would typically have to just raise my voice, and that was the end of it, except for 2 of them when they got older, teenage years. And the oldest one wasn't really that bad. He was a little bit rebellious, but nothing serious, okay? The one I just told you about was the only one I had problems with. God, that's the only one. The rest of my kids were great. Caden, no issues really at all. Just being a typical teenager type stuff. Nothing. So I got lucky in my opinion because I had 7 kids. So can you imagine if they were all like that? But I see families that struggle. And here's what happens, guys. I think we've talked about this before. I think parents have given up in some senses on their children because they know that they have no they have no support. So when you have no support, and I'm not saying that parents need support from other people to raise their kids. We do need background support, though. We need support from the schools and the teachers, and we need support from law enforcement. We need to have role models for these kids to look at, and people for these kids to be able to go to look to, that have to have choices, though, and they have taken all those choices away from us as parents. So again, where do we go from there?
I don't know, but I thought it was quite odd when we did a poll. I can't remember when, but when you were a child, were you disciplined with a belt? And the majority of the cast said yes, or the whatever said yes. So why? I mean, if we were spanked and it wasn't called, and look at the kids now, you would think that they would want us to be able to spank and do that.
Because people get out of control with it, just like what we just looked at is the world we live in today. And people don't just spank their children, they beat their children to death, dig a hole in the backyard and bury them.
Yes.
I would have a belt and a switch used on me, both amongst other things.
Same here.
But I never, ever, and I can call Minnie right now and have him come up here and tell you, I never once put my hands on my children. I used write-offs with my children. I can tell you today what they used to write. They used to write, "I will do as I'm told when I'm told, not when or if I want to." That's what I used with my kids. And I have two amazing boys that I wouldn't take anything in the world for. But every child is different. And now today's time, a lot of what's wrong is parents buy their kids cell phones at 7 years old and every game system that comes out, and they're being raised by game systems and strangers in chats.
And cell phones.
Yeah. That is a lot of what is going on? Are we having technical difficulties over there?
Who, me?
Yes, you got the flashlight broke out.
Oh yeah, my mouse is like stuck. It's froze, and I don't know what. Sorry, I'm trying not to be like.
You're good. My wireless mouse did it. I don't even know. It went out the other day, and I haven't even had it that long.
My wireless mouse has been out for a while. I just stopped playing with that, and I used the regular. And now that one went out. I don't understand what the hell's going on. Sorry to be distracting. Keep on talking.
No, you're good. I was just making sure you was all right over there on that side.
Yeah.
So, Mom, when you wrote that up and they didn't follow it, what happened? What was the consequence?
They did their write-offs. They did their write-offs because they knew if they didn't do their write-offs, they lost everything that they had. Yeah. They lost computer time. They lost game systems. And I would go and I would take game systems and lock them in my room, and you dare not go in my room. And they knew that. But I never had to put my hands on my kids.
Yes.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know what the hell happened, but I got it. Thank you. Sorry.
Well, at some point in time, Mom, you had to have helped give them what a consequence is, and they don't want it again, so they're going to follow the rules.
They would lose their priorities. They would lose their game systems. They would lose going skating with their friends. They would lose having friends over. They would lose being able to go out and ride the four-wheeler. Like, there are things that I chose to do with my kids that were different than the way I was raised. You know, I was hell on wheels growing up. I'll be the first one to tell you, I was on probation by the time I was 12 years old. Like, I was absolute hell on wheels. Yeah, buddy, let me tell you what, I was a monster when I was a kid. My mom raised me without my dad present. He came into my life when I was in my 20s. He was around, but he was never around. So when I had Minnie, I was 16 years old. I got married at 16, had him 6 months later. I was pregnant with him and got married, and
I can't picture you being rebellious, even remotely.
Really?
Nope.
You got a whole lot of learning.
I guess I do.
Yeah, I was, man, I'm telling you, at what, 12 years old, 11, 12, right around there, I was like the ninja. I could sneak out my window and jump the trains on the railroad tracks and ride them across town. And be back at home before, and be back at home before she got up to go to work. I only got caught one time, and it's because I have an older sister that was adopted, and I took her with me one night. And I grew up in the country, y'all. So, like, when I say we would walk across the horse field and jump trains and ride trains across town, I mean, like, literally out in the sticks. And
we used to ride trains back and forth across town too, because they would roll through town so slow that we could just jump on the ladder on the back. It would just take us from one side of town to the other. And we did that a lot because trains were constantly going through our town, because where I lived at was right outside of a General Motors, and a Packard Electric plants were right outside of where we lived. So we had trains going back and forth to the car plants and the different places like that all day, every day, all the time. We have like no trains now, but back then there was all day. So we'd go from the east side of town to the west side of the town on the back of a train. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where I grew up, a railroad station right there, like literally right across the horse field. We had a big piece of property, and then there was a horse field, and then there was the railroad tracks. So we would just jump our fence, jump their fence, run across the field, because the horses these were like show horses because they were barned at night. So we would just run over there and jump the trains and ride the trains over to Clarks River Road, which was where all of our friends lived.
Mm-hmm.
And one night I took her with me. I shouldn't have took her with me because I think she was too loud when she came out, because I was already halfway through the field when she came up running behind me. And we got home that night. My mom, my stepdad, and my little brother were waiting back behind the shed. They come out, and she took a phone book to my hand in. I'll never forget it. She didn't even use it. She grabbed a phone book, and she took a phone book to me. I mean, she for lack of better word, beat my ass with that phone book.
My mother would grab whatever was within arm's reach, a brush, a book, a cutting board one time, and she'd just fling it. Thank God I had good reflexes, because I'd have probably had dents all over my head right now if I wouldn't have. But and here's the thing: is my mother was 5'10". Well, she's still kind of tall, 5'10". I'm just 5'6.5", guys, 5'7", I think I was, but now I've shrunk. But anyway, not super tall, okay. But I was even in high school. I was muscle. I played football. I was just the muscle kid. I was always working out. My mother picked me up against the wall by my shirt one time like this and told me, I will end you, basically. I made you, I will end you. No lie. I had fear of my mother, okay? To this day. And she scared the shit out of me because I wasn't afraid of my dad. My dad would just sit in the chair and read the newspaper and just watch this, and he'd just look at me like, "Hey, Joey, you might want to listen to her." Oh, gotcha, bro. I'm good, Dad. The woman scares the shit out of me, okay? She stepped over a coffee table one time and lifted me off the couch. And said, "You're going to go to your room," because I thought I was Mr. Tough Guy at 16. She said, "Go to your room." Yeah, she told me one time to go to your room. I tried to be rebellious, okay? It was a joke. And I said, "No, I'm not. I'm too old to go to my room. Are you kidding me?" No. And she looked at me. My mother has this look. It literally will burn your face. Like you'll feel the heat, and then your face combusts. She still has this at 73 years old. But I said no. And she stepped over the table and grabbed me off the couch, picked me up in midair, and sat me down and said, "If I say it again," and I was gone. Okay. It's 16 years old. I was scared to death of this woman. Again, she called the police on me one time because I wouldn't eat my dinner. I was being unruly, rebellious. I'm too old to do all these things, so on and so forth. They came in. They rolled their eyes, and my whole family has known the police. My biological father, my grandfather, my uncle were all cops. It's just everybody knows. And they literally came in my living room and said, "Joe, go to your damn room. Listen to your mom." It was like, really, and I did, because I had a fear of consequence at that time from them, even when I was being rebellious. So I can see where my kid probably got it from. The problem is he never subsided to that, whereas to where I did. So I don't know where to go from this point on. I couldn't raise a child again if I had to, you guys. I have grandkids. I watch what goes on with them. I give hints to our children and say, you should do this, this, and that. And they just look at me like, what does that mean?
Yep.
I have a stepdaughter, and, when I came into their lives, her mom is non-existent. So I'm the only mom she's ever known.
Mm-hmm.
And, I raised stepdaughters, but my boys are mine. And I have 3 other stepdaughters that I helped raise. So it's a learning curve raising a kid in these times. It really is. Like it is absolutely a learning curve. And a lot of times I have to step back and say, you know what? Here's my opinion. Telling the old man, here's my opinion. Here's what I would do if she was mine. And just, you got to, I guess, for lack of better words, pick your battles, because
that's 100%.
She's not mine.
Right.
She's mine, but she's not mine. So I just try to keep, it was many years ago when my kids were her age, but still, this is things I wouldn't do. But, she has a phone. And when I was raising the boys, they didn't have phones. They didn't have phones till they were 14, 15 years old. They didn't get a phone. But she has a phone, because in the times that we live in, I cannot have her at school without her phone. Because I will have panic attacks. It is for my mental health. You know what I mean? That she has a way to contact.
Agreed. Absolutely. I agree. I do agree. Same way.
And I remember hiding in my closet and putting every pair of jeans I could in so that I had a lot of padding before I went and got a spanking.
I shoved socks down my pants before I got hit one time, and she stopped. And I shoved them in the back of my pants to pad that before I was going to get my ass whooped. I remember that one night. She stopped and pulled them out, and then she whooped me. Just end of story. That's how that worked. And yes, Mr. Steve, I agree. Women are on another level of bringing fear. They go to some secret ninja. Yes, guys. My mother was 100% in charge of the boomerang shoe. I'm telling you right now, if you guys remember the Eddie Murphy episode where he talked about his mother throwing the shoe and it would come back to her, and that whole Wild Wild West thing, where the walks. That was my mom. She'd be in the kitchen. I'd be in the hallway, in the living room at the corner, and I would get hit with something. I'm telling you, it was just, that's how it was. Now, we can't be like that. If you know what would happen if you threw a shoe at a child right now,
oh, Lord, you'd go to jail.
100%. And you'd go to court, and a judge would probably sit there and stare at you like, why? Because we don't know what else.
One time on, I don't know, some show, I think it was The Middle, but when the older kid that was always getting in trouble was punished, he had to be within 3 feet, no matter what, of his dad for a whole day.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I
just don't know what to say anymore, you guys. Like, where are the answers at? If you get lucky like I was, I had 6 amazing kids. I had 5 amazing kids, and one that was slightly unruly. The other one was a complete asshole. I'll be honest. I love him, but he was an asshole, and he played the system. He played off of everything he was taught through the school. It is what it is. I can't deny it. And he's still kind of that way. He thinks the whole world owes him something that they don't, and this and that and everything else. The rest of my kids, though, they grew up to be amazing kids. They have their own kids. They're great parents. So we did something right at that point, but I failed with that one, I feel. And I've done everything the same with them, and I just don't know what to say anymore to it. And then we turn around and we have these situations now, and you got to wonder, we blame it on parenting. That's fact. And we do. There are some parents that are just blatantly lazy ass people. Okay. They don't want to raise their kids. They want to hand them a phone or a TV or a game system and say, I love you. There's food in the kitchen. Have a good day. And that happens, guys. Then we have parents like us that want to do this with our kids, that want to show our kids what to do that's right and want to raise them. And the schools kind of buck against that. And the, society teaches that we can't. So how do we change that to start here at this level to prevent what happens up here, what we're talking about now? You see what I'm saying? It's a whole thing.
It's almost like a losing battle.
Oh, of course it is.
If you watch some like school conferences and stuff, I mean, you have school officials going against parents and parents being drug out of official meetings and arrested, and it's craziness.
PTO, that happened here. PTO, I'm not lying. Not PTO. What the hell am I saying? Parent teacher conference. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 parents arrested at a conference, a parent teacher conference here in the city I grew up in, not where I live now, but when my kids were in high school, which was about 6 years ago. Okay. They went to a conference and it was all pre-planned, and the police were there to meet them and arrest them when they got there for domestic assault against their child, because that child went to that teacher and said, my mom hit me in the mouth because the girl looked at her mother and told her to go fuck herself. Excuse my language. Because the mother told her she wasn't going to a party that night. The mother smacked her in the mouth when she said it. And both parents were arrested because the mother the mother actually got arrested for physical assault, and the father was arrested, I do believe, because he tried to prevent the arrest or something like that. And because he went off and he cussed out the teacher and he swore at the police. Have you ever heard of anything like that in your life? It was like a sting operation. It's like a sting operation between the police and the school. They arrested a parent for smacking their child in the mouth. Now, listen, I'm not condoning. I don't believe in hitting. If you discipline your kids, that's your business. I don't believe in hitting children in the face. I just never have. Okay. There's something about that makes me cringe. But my mother did that to me too. If I was pop in the mouth, but I survived it. I'm just saying. I've been one of them people that I just you don't hit kids in their face. But I don't think you should be arrested for it. I think it's kind of insane. Okay. It was like a sting operation. It is insanity. I've never heard anything like that in my life. But it happened, guys. And the mother was charged with domestic assault against that child. The father was charged with domestic violence because of threats that he verbally made. There you go. The child was then placed in state custody for a period of time. The parents got probation. Let me remember this. The parents both got reporting probation for 3 years. The child was put into a group home for a period of 6 months. The parents and the child the parents had to go through parenting classes. They had to pay all this damn money, all these fines. The child had to go through some kind of there was a guardian at Lightem, and they had to go through some kind of therapy or some shit like that. And then the family was brought back together. The child was she kind of got, I guess, a karma because she went to the teacher and cried child abuse, blah 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 blah. The teacher, being a mandated reporter, had to do what she had to do. The police showed up, they did this thing, and boom. It just blows my mind, because if that would have happened, that situation would have happened in like 1974. No. 1984? No. 1994? 2004? Hell yeah. Okay. I just don't get it. I don't get it anymore. So, just saying, folks, don't be careful what you do.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. See something. We thought about that with my son Ty, the one that I was telling you about sending him to one of those boot camps. but then we read the reviews on it and we watched these videos and stuff. And in some cases, it makes the kids meaner and it makes them more. It gives them like aggression because they're angry because of what you did by putting them there, and they lash out more. So what do you do with that situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not to mention the ones that they find that are killed or worse in those boot camp things. There's a whole documentary about them shutting them down for the way that kids are treated. Like it's
because they go too far. And they say that some of that I watched one of those documentaries that the groups have gone too far, they're saying, by the way they treated the kids. But it's because the kids come in there not afraid of anything and they throw it back in the trainers' faces. What do you do? What do you do? Crazy combo. Crazy combo.
You keep the faith and do the best you can in these days. That's all you can do.
Amen, ma'am. Like I said, kids do not come when you have your child, they don't come with a set of instructions. There's no easy read manual. There's no 1, 2, 3 booklet. Okay. And we raise our kids. I believe this wholeheartedly based on what we saw growing up, how we were raised, the things we learned, and you try to tweak it a little bit more. I think every generation does that a little bit more to try to make sure that they have this, they have that. Some people that came out of very strict homes absolutely refuse to punish their children. I'm not putting my kids through what you put me through, so on and so forth. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. My mother, I told you, was strict. I was scared to death of that woman. I respect the hell out of her right now, and I'm grateful she did what she did to me because I was unruly. I was undiagnosed ADHD, probably spectrum, which is where Caden gets his from. So be it. Okay. But I wasn't violent. I wasn't out doing drugs. I wasn't out humping everything I saw. I went to school. I ran away from home twice. The first time I did it, I went to school the next day. And I stayed at my friend's house 3 doors down. Who does that runs away from home? Okay. The second time I ran away, I went to my aunt's house. Again, who does that? I did because I'm a dork. But it was mostly because I feared my mother. And what was ingrained in my mind, like, okay, I'm running away. I'm big time now. And then I go to school. And juvenile detectives, 2 of them showed up the next day when I was at school looking for me. They pulled me out of lunch. I was embarrassed. And I said, please don't do this. Please don't do this. They're like, Joe, you can't just do this. Your mother called and did this and then blah, blah, blah. I said, can I finish school? And I will come down to the station after school. They let me do that. And I went down there. My mother was there. We had this whole thing, blah, blah, blah. And then I went and I lived with my aunt until I turned 18, which was 3-4 months. Because I was just tired of following rules. I respect everything my mother did to me now, and I'm grateful she did because God knows what would have happened to me if I would not have had that discipline. Do you see what I'm saying? So, just saying, guys.
It's really sad. Our children are our future.
I know. That's why I sit here and scream every day that we have to protect these kids in any way, shape, or form that we can because it's beyond scary. It really is. I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death for Caden at this point. I'm petrified for my grandkids. I'll put it that way.
Like I say, we're their first line of defense. Just got to be good humans and good parents and pay attention, listen.
Yes.
You don't have to be their friend. You have to be a safe place to communicate.
That you have to be a parent before you're. Caden is my best friend. I'll say that. Me and him are best friends, but it's a very fine line because I am his parent first and foremost before anything. And we have our days that we butt heads, that we don't get along at all because I make him do his daily chores, and I make him follow rules, and I make him get up off of his butt if he's trying to be lazy and sit around all day long and stare at the phone or stare at the TV. I don't need these. I don't know why I'm not have them on, but then we have 6 out of 7 days a week where we are close and we do talk and we do this, and we've always had an open line of communication. He's always known he can come to me for anything when he has a fear of something or a question about something, or he has a girlfriend that decides that she wants to do those things that you're not supposed to do, and he doesn't know how to react to that, and he comes to me and he's open enough to be able to say, Dad, such and such said she wants to do this with me. Thank you for coming to me, son. Here's what I can tell you to do. Here's what I can give you to use if you choose to do this. And he made the choice not to. He was afraid of it. Between all of you and me, he doesn't know I just told you that, and he never will, because I will deny. Just saying. But he was afraid of it, and I respect that, because he didn't know. He doesn't know. Although I've explained it to him, he's also quite immature because of the spectrum scenario, okay? So rather than just do it, he came and said, what do I do, Dad? I pray to God that everybody that has a child that's a teenager has that relationship with their child. Their child is comfortable enough to come to you and talk to you about something like that before they make a mistake. That's all I'm saying. I am very proud of what has come out of him with the things, the hurdles he's had, the issues we've had raising him, this and that. He turned out to be an amazing child. He really did. And I'm grateful for that. So
that's awesome. Hey, can I get your opinion on something?
Mine?
What would you do? What are some of the things that would, be safe? Cause I don't know anything like this. Mom, you already know, but like greeting cards. Put on the back a number. Is that what you're saying? Like a birthday card?
What are we talking about here? I'm lost.
Oh, I don't know. Mom? Oh, okay. My best friend is married to the CEO of Hallmark.
Oh, okay.
And he went to school with us too in our little small farming community. But he's been in Germany, so now he's back. I'm going to talk to him on Monday. I sent the stuff to Mom, but I'm trying to think. We came up with on the back of cards they should have that number, like child endangerment or whatever that. She'd have to tell you that. But that was her thought. And the other thought I thought of was anybody, that sells birthday cards should have surveillance. I cannot say that word. Pointed towards at least the children birthday cards, because there's perverts out there. What are your thoughts?
Are you in here, Mom?
Yeah, you're talking about like the number for NetMic on the back.
Okay. There you go, Terry.
Like for awareness purposes. Sorry, it was snoring really loud.
Oh, it's okay.
I moved the laptop in there because it's getting late.
Mm-hmm. Fester on that one. Chew on it, Dago.
I will. Yeah, it is getting late, but yeah, I will. That's an interesting idea. I've never thought of anything like that before. So, very interesting. Greeting cards, huh?
Yeah.
How would that be set up, Mom? What do you mean? Just like the necklace number?
You know how at the bottom of the card, how it's got like Hallmark, made by Hallmark. Just putting like the NICMIC information on there, just for like different purposes. Because I mean, people have birthday parties at like Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm not picking on Chuck E. Cheese. I'm just using it for instance.
No, I get it.
Say you're at Chuck E. Cheese, and maybe the day earlier that day you were on Twitter, you were on YouTube, and you saw a missing child. That way it's a direct number, because they have a tip line that they'll also get you in contact with law enforcement.
Okay.
Just another way around.
A good idea. That is, yeah, that's a good idea. Annabelle Stealth, welcome. I thought I would never use corporal punishment till I had kids. That's I get it. I do. I get it. It's hard, guys. It is. Listen, just keep being the amazing parents that you are. Keep parenting your children. Don't say, okay, I'm done. I give up. Hand them a phone and walk away. Please don't ever do that. Don't. You guys, you're all good parents and good grandparents, and you have the right ideals, and you're doing the best you can, and that's all we can do, guys, as parents and grandparents, is the very best we can. We can't be expected to do more, but don't ever do less. That's all I'm saying. That's actually a really
I'm
good
the
idea.
spoiler of the grandson. That
Yes.
is my role. That is my extent. Is he likes Sonic? So anything that I see as Sonic, he must have it immediately.
Of course. That's what we do. That's what we do. And of course, our children hate us for doing it. Like, stop giving him everything he wants. No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Like he likes all these little different games, and he's a big fan of Sonic and Mario. So
that's very cool.
I'm constantly giving him stuff.
We do the same thing. Like my grandson gets everything he wants from his mother. Like when it comes time for his birthday, we're like, well, what do we get him? She's like, I don't know. Well, what doesn't he have? Nothing. Thanks. I appreciate you leaving that door open for us. So he's spoiled from them. Juniper knows if we go to a store, she never doesn't say, I want to go. I'm coming with. That's what she says. Well, why? I'm only going to be a minute. I'm coming with. Don't leave yet, Papa. Okay. Because she knows that anything she points at when she goes into that store, she's leaving with. That's just how that works. I'm very bad. Very, very bad with that. I can't help myself. And my kids are pissed. They're like, right. My kids are like, you're an ass. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, you didn't do that with us. And I said, you're right. I didn't. It's different. Grandkids, wait till you have grandkids and then you understand it. That's all I can tell you.
Whole different thing. We went to a carnival and I spent $20 to win a Sonic because I was not leaving that freaking balloon stand without that Sonic.
Absolutely. Their approval is the only thing that matters on the planet. When they approve of something you did, that's all that matters, folks. And they know. They know. She knows that she... Here, I'm just done, folks. I gave up a long time ago. My wife rules 90% of me. Or, I'm sorry, my wife rules 10% of me. My granddaughter rules the other 90. It is what it is. They're in charge. It's their house, their life. I just live in it. That's all there is to it. And that's just how it is. I'm okay with that now.
I love it.
It is what it is. What it is. Happy, the is it happy wife, happy life? That goes with your grandchildren too. If they're unhappy, there's no two ways about it. So,
and it's the look on their little faces.
Oh my God!
Mine video chats me like the FaceTime iPhone thingy, and grandma, da 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 da, and then we sit there and he knows how to share his screen and all that. So I'm sitting there watching him build these little schoolhouse rooms, and I don't know all that stuff, but I'm just totally intrigued the entire time because he's just great, man. He's like a little mini me.
It's a mini me, right? My granddaughter's 7, about to be 8 in November, and she has found YouTube. Thank God it's YouTube Kids. I caught her on the TV because these kids are smart, looking on regular YouTube, and I went, no. She was like, what? And she started watching the makeup tutorial things, right? Oh my God. No. She starts telling these things to my wife one day. My wife was putting her makeup on. My wife does very well with that. She's been doing it for 46 or 30, we'll say 36 years, okay? We have the full body mirrors. We have one at the end of our stairs, and we have one on our bedroom door. So I go upstairs, and they're both in the bedroom. My wife is sitting at her thing on the bedroom door. My granddaughter's sitting on a bed watching her put her makeup on. And as I walk past the door to go into the bathroom, I hear, Mimi, you're wrong. Or Nini, you're wrong. Of course, my ear goes, what? I catch it and I'm listening. So my bedroom is diagonal from my bathroom upstairs. And I'm standing at the sink listening to this. And I hear my wife say, what do you mean, honey? What am I wrong for? She goes, you're not supposed to put this part on with your eyes, something with your mat. How did she say it? You're supposed to put your eyeliner on before your mascara or something like that. And I turned from the sink and looked directly into I said, why is she telling you how to put makeup on at 7 years old? And she starts laughing and goes, I have no idea. And I said, what's funny? She goes, she's right. That was enough for me right there. And I told my son, I said, dude, she's watching like YouTube, not YouTube Kids. He was like, no, she can't get on there. I said, really? Come here. I said, Junie, go show me the channel you were watching on this TV right behind me that you see the flames on. She goes, which one? And I said, the one with the makeup thing. She picked up my remote and did something with it and flipped it over from the YouTube Kids channel to the regular TV. He turned and looked at me and goes, well, why'd you unlock it? I said, I didn't. How'd she do that? He looked at her and she showed him something. She goes in and types it in like this. It's supposed to be locked out so she can only get onto the YouTube Kids thing. So I had to redo all that shit. They're smart, guys. They're smart. They know what they're doing. They run things. That's all there is to it. And like I said, it's okay with me. She runs my home when she's here. Oh, it is what it is. Oakley watches you sometimes when she's adores you. Oh, well, that's sweet. That's another reason why I try to watch my language, because I know that there's some kids that do watch me and teenagers and stuff like that. So
yeah, and you never know if they're in the background or like people are listening on their TV. So
absolutely, that's another. Yeah, it's okay, bud. No problem. Everybody calls. I've had people call him Hayden multiple times. He actually asked me one day. He was like, "How come you guys didn't name me Hayden? I like that better than Caden." I said, "Your name's not good enough now? What the hell, dude?" That's cute. I forgot about that. Preston, Doodlebug's grandson. I made him famous in school, like he told his buddies he knows a YouTuber because I've talked to him a couple times, and it's made him famous now in school. It's kind of
that
neat.
is awesome.
These kids are cool. I love kids. Yeah, there is actually. There's creepy videos on the YouTube for kids. There's really creepy videos. YouTube Kids weirds me out. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I reported a couple of them.
I know, like creeper shit. Yeah, I've seen it too. I was scanning through what she watches on her little tablet and then on the TV and stuff like that. And I'm like, what is that? And she told me, and I was like, I don't think I like that. You know what I mean? Like there's some of these things kind of have innuendos towards things. And I'm like, I don't know about that one. So I watch it. I watch it all. Yep, that's what Mrs. Dago's name is Nini. She's
I'm just
Nini.
Grandma. I didn't get a cool name.
I didn't ask for mine. I told you guys what my other granddaughter calls me. I have 6 grandkids, but I usually only see 2, sometimes the third one. The other 3 are my oldest sons, who is in prison. And he has no relationship with them, unfortunately. And I had no relationship with him. And the mother is a psycho. So I leave that alone. But those 2 here that you guys see all the time running around, Nini and Papa is what we are, except for my other one, the one that I was telling you, Ty, his daughter, her name is Angioletta. She calls me still, because she's almost 8 years old too. She calls me Pee-Pee.
That's awesome.
And it's cute when they're little, but when you got an 8-year-old, and I told my wife, I said, listen, if this child's 14 years old, walking around going to the store with me, calling me Pee-Pee, I think we're gonna have a problem. So we need to like get that figured out somehow sooner or later. So
Shift it around.
yeah, something's not right. Like I could just see that phone call. Like, yeah, we got a teenage girl with some old man, and she keeps calling him pee-pee. Something's going on, folks. I don't like this. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you something funny. When the kids were little, like I said,
Where'd
I've
Terry go?
got adult. I think she dropped off. I've got
Thank you,
adult
Terry.
stepdaughters, and
Yeah.
when one of them was little, she was probably about 7 or 8 years old. She was obsessed with Toy Story, so she had a Woody, like a Woody doll.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we're in Walmart in Nashville, and I don't know where the hell she dropped that thing at, but she's literally screaming at the top of her lungs while we're going through, and I lost my Woody. My Woody's gone. And this lady turns around and looks at me like, what the hell kind of parent are you? I'm like, no, dude, Woody, like Toy Story, like she lost her Woody.
So I told you that, right? That's what I'm saying. I told you guys the Walmart when I ran into my son with her, and she was down by the grocery section, and I was all the way up at the other end, and she comes flying through the store. She must have sensed me or something with her grandpa radar, and she's screaming that, "Pee-pee, I'm here, pee-pee, see me, pee-pee," and everybody in the store is looking at me. And I'm just like, beat red. I was completely beat red going, she runs up, I love you, pee-pee, and hugs me. And I'm going, oh, for God's sakes. But what are you going to say?
Right.
You love these kids and you can't go, oh, don't say that, you know. So anyway, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm either grandma or my dad's mom. My dad's mom. My dad's mom. I'm like, dude.
That's funny. My Junie used to say that
too. So he's a little turkey.
My grands call my mom. Oh yeah, they call my mother-in-law Gamma. It's Gamma. Yeah, it's weird because they call my wife's mother Gamma. They call my mother Grandma and Grandpa. But my older kids call my mom and dad Mimi and Poppy. My grandkids call me and her Nini and Papa. My stepkids' dad, their dad is called Pop. Like, where do all these damn names come from?
I had a Meemaw, a Peepaw, and a Pawpaw, and a Meemaw.
See something? I've begged them to force her to. They think it's funny. My son's an ass. I told you that's the one that was, you know. He thinks it's funny that she calls me Pee-pee. I said, can you at least teach her to say Peepaw or Pawpaw or Powpaw, something else that doesn't have pee-pee in it? You know what I mean? He's like, no, man, it's funny. No, it's not. Not at all. Especially when she's screaming it in a store full of 3,000 people and, you know, whatever.
That's
great. That's a whole different story, Doodle. We pay, and he is calling me mom, and his dad, who was like 21, looked over at my son, blew him. That's funny, Doodle. That is funny. Yes. All right, guys. I think that's exactly my point right there. Thank you. See something?
Pee Wee Herman vibes.
That's exactly my point. Thank you. Bingo. I feel dirty when I'm called that. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yes.
But you can't tell her, no, don't do that. I'm like, hey, honey, it's Papa. It's Papa. Remember, Papa? I said pee-pee. No. Damn it. Traditional names are being. Oh, they have been a long time ago, David. Like I don't hear. You very rarely hear grandma and grandpa anymore. It's always like what I just said, or I've heard so many. What the hell is my ex-wife, the creature? They call her Nana. I think it's Nana, which of course I make fun of it, you know, because she's the creature. I'm like, Nah. That sounds like a dog gnawing on a bone. Nah, you know. She hates me, which that's fine because we're mutual on that one. But
I have one that hates me too, which is perfectly fine. We mutually have that hate relationship. He keeps us
100%.
distance, and it's happier that way.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. So, yes, David, the creature. I was married to a creature for 9.5 years.
It happens to the best of us, Dago.
I mean, it is. You're blinded when you're young by butts and things like that. You don't see things for what they really are, and then you do things. That's what I blame it on. The drugs. I was smoking a lot of weed when I met her, playing in a band. I met her in a bar. That should have told everybody right there that was wrong. So, and then we spent some time together, and she ended up pregnant, and I had to do the right thing and marry her. And we had 2 more, and I didn't even like her. She was just a bad person. That's all. Not everybody can be blessed with having a good heart or a good soul. Some people just are bad people. But I got away, and I married the love of my life, the most amazing person on the planet. And the creature is jealous. So that makes it all worth it to me.
I get it. Same with me. I went through a couple of them. And now this one, he's worth it, I reckon.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, she tried when Brandy got pregnant with Caden. We were together for 3 years, and I had proposed to her. I was never going to get married again, but I proposed to her because she was amazing. I couldn't find anything. I've never been around anybody like that in my life that made me feel like that. And then she ended up pregnant. And after 3 years, while we were separated for 4.5, almost 5 years before, 4.5, 5 years, 2.5 years into it, me and Brandy got together. So anyway, I was picking up my kids, and I went to leave after picking up my kids. I had to go inside her cave, as I called it, that she lived in, and was leaving with my kids, and she said she stopped me, and she starts crying, and I'm like, something wrong? I'm not heartless. I talk about her like that, but I am she's human. I care about her in that sense, but she was like, we would have got back together, but you got her pregnant, you ruined it all. And I went, huh? What? And I turned and looked at her. I said, are you high? She was like, no. Why did you get her pregnant? Huh? I said, Joni, we're divorced. We've been divorced for years. Where is this even coming from? I guess it was something she was sitting on. She must have thought that I was just going to fall into her and never be able to live without her or some shit. I don't know. It was insane. That was a very weird situation. I got in the van, and my wife was sitting in the van, and I told her, and she turned and looked at the house, and she's standing at the front door. You could tell she had been crying. She turned back and looked at me. She goes, are you serious? And I said, just let it go. And we left. I never heard it. Crazy. Just people are crazy. That's all I can say. What are you talking about?
I think she's talking about Five Nights at Freddy's a while ago. That's pretty creepy.
I've watched that movie, and I've seen the video game. That's the one with the electronic, like Chuck E. Cheese type things in it, right?
I don't know. There's some kind of creepy little bear, and I've never really watched it.
He ain't little. He's like giant, and he's animatronic and like evil and killer. Yeah, I watched that long ago because I like horror movies. Show people so they know what YouTube is like. Is it on YouTube?
I think so.
I thought it was just a movie and a video game.
There's probably people playing the game on YouTube. All right, Dago, chat. Guys, I got to go to bed. I got to work in the morning. But thank you for having me up.
Yes, thank you for joining me. I didn't know you had to work, or I wouldn't have.
No, you're fine. I like coming up here and hanging out. It helps me wind down at night.
Absolutely.
I'm going to lay there on my phone anyway, so I'd rather be up here hanging out with you guys.
Well, I appreciate you as always, Mom. It's always an honor to have you here. And I will more than likely talk with you tomorrow sometime.
Okie doke. Well, happy Father's Day and happy
Thank you.
Father's Day to everybody in chat. And you guys all be good. And I will see y'all on the flip side.
Tell Mr. Monster again. We said happy Father's Day as well.
Sure
and you
will.
have
He had a good Father's Day. He got dinner and a bottle of Patron, so he's no longer with us in the awaked world.
I would imagine.
That's all he asked for, so I was like, that's pretty, I can do that.
Yeah, there you go. My wife got me these, which I asked for because I like plants. I thought it was cute. They're succulent. And she planted them in this thing here. I like to have plants around me, so that's what I got there, and I got some other stuff too. So
I have cactuses, but they're outside where I do not mess with them or they will die.
I want a bamboo. I want a bamboo plant. I like cactuses too, but I want a bamboo plant for over here too.
Bamboo are really cool, and I'm going to tell you, if you get a bamboo, get a good size, like clear glass vase to put them in, and go get you a betta fish.
A what?
Betta fish.
Oh, it's a baby. Yeah. Okay.
Put one betta in there because he'll help fertilize with his waste, and the plant will grow huge. And plus, they're really cool to watch.
Yeah, very much so. And you don't have to do much with those. You can just put them in the thing and feed them every now and then, right?
Yep. And the aquatic plant is actually good for the bamboo itself is actually good for the fish too. So
cool. I will do that. Thank you.
Yep. They're really cool. And like the bamboo plant, you'll see it grow immaculately with the fish in there.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for the advice. I will do that.
Definitely. All right. I'm going to bed, guys. Good night. Talk to y'all tomorrow.
You too. Have a great night, hon. I think that's going to do it, guys. This is the trailer of This Is What You Were Talking About. Was it Leslie? Yes. I watched this first movie. This is the second movie trailer. If this is what you meant, Leslie. Yes, it was an all the way around stream, David. It was wide open. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. And I hope everybody had a good night in here. Let me show you guys this trailer real fast. If this is, I think this.
I keep thinking about that place. It's not over yet. All of them are still in there, even Afton.
Hello, Vanessa. It's been a while. There's something I want to show you. A new place. A place for my new friends. And you too, Mike. This time, death cannot save you.
Who the hell is that?
A new friend of mine.
We have to stop Afton for good.
The nightmare is just beginning, kid. You ready for what's next?
Oh yeah, there's a few, Leslie. There's a few different creatures that are in these things. These, whatever they are. Video cartoons on YouTube for kids. We had to call it in to get it. What? Wow. I'll have to look into that. Good. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the conversation. Yes, I like doing these. I'm gonna have to stop doing as many of them because I'm exhausted when I get up the next day. But I like doing these late night like hangout, streams. We talk about whatever we talk about. I think it's nice to be able to chat like we do, and we can just kind of cover a little bit of whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, I enjoy these. And I get a lot of people in here that can't be in here during the day. So maybe not so late, you know what I'm saying? Because it's 3 a.m. This has been a norm for me. I don't know how you guys do this all the time. Stay up so late, but I appreciate you guys very much. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel by being here. I appreciate my moderators that can hang with me. I think Doodlebug is always the only. Oh, Tomboy's in here tonight. You're late tonight, Tomboy. But I got Doodlebug and Tomboy in here. I think everybody else passed out a long time ago. All my other mods went to bed. But thank you guys so much for sticking out, hanging out, and sticking with me all this time. Great conversation, updates, crime news, and all that, guys. We do what we do. Tomorrow I should be here at a normal time. I can't promise, but I should. Thank you so much, Doodle. I adore everything you do for me. And Tomboy, thank you so much for hanging with us as long as you have. Doodle, please get some rest and get yourself, like I said, if you don't start feeling better, you made a promise. She still has the C, and she's not getting better yet, guys. So it's making me nervous. Good night, Miss W. Everybody else, guys, thank you so much again. Thank you to anybody that donated to any of the links to support the channel in that way. You guys are amazing. God bless. Thank you for the new memberships. I appreciate that very much as well. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Get some sleep. For those of you that are over the pond, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you tonight. I get it, but you still got to take care of yourself, Doodle. Thank you so much, Miss Leslie. I really do appreciate how much you support me and this channel, and how much you lift me up with your positivity. I really do. I absolutely appreciate you very much. Much love to each and every one of you guys. I really do appreciate you guys more than you know. Guys, don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. And please, guys, don't change a thing about yourselves, because you're all amazing. And I will see you all very soon. Good night, and God bless, folks. Bye-bye.